All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Bodacious. Fuck. Um,
Yeah, the
I
You gotta
bodacious
yeah,
one.
keep
I
that in.
can't.
There's no
It,
restarting.
I cannot believe that that happened
All
because
right, it's
we
a
have
wrap, ladies and
not
gents.
because we have not done it in. I think
What messed you up?
I have no idea. I I actually don't know. I was just sitting here looking.
I don't think you press record. But for those who didn't catch it, the only thing I said before you started
Was
was how the
no,
holiday
I did
Christmas.
press record right as you said that, so it was on the recording, and I was like, okay, cool. Um. Anyway, welcome to All Riled Up. Uh, I'm your host Riley Sassinelli. As always,
And
joining me is Gus. How are you, Gus?
I am doing all right. Doing all right.
Good, good. Thank you for coming. Showing
of
your
course, my
face.
pleasure.
After the because I hid mine when the Bills were playing. Uh, dear God, that was brutal. Um,
Bro,
and we'll
I
talk about
there's a
it.
lot to talk about. Oh,
Yeah,
there's a lot to
there's
talk
so
about.
much to talk about.
Yeah.
Um, including the funny video that we were talking about in the group chat. Um,
Mm-hmm.
we'll talk about that in a little bit. And joining us all the way from Texas now is
Yeah.
Dijon. How are you, Dijon? And how is Texas? Tell everybody else. I heard the talk before the show.
It's all right. I'm chilling.
That's good. Uh
I'm about like what 30 minutes from the border.
oh wow.
Uh,
So you just do you get a lot of like drugs from the border, or or are you not cool?
I got a guy who just like hands it through the gate.
That's awesome.
I
That
give
is
him a
awesome.
dollar. Apparently, it's a lot over there.
I was gonna say that is crazy cheap. Although well, if he's from Venezuela, I know they have very bad inflation.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah.
but
But
um,
besides that, I wanted to say I forgot to tell you before the podcast, but I'll say it now. The other reason my father doesn't believe Josh Allen will get MVP is because he plays as well as like as good as needed.
that is
You know,
not
he
true.
He
said
thinks he plays down.
I
he
mean, well,
said
the whole team plays down. It's not like
he said with the Patriots game, they started 14-0, and he was like, that fucking proves it.
nah.
The Lions game, you guys started 14-0.
Literally, it
In the
it's
Patriots game, you guys were trying to climb out
by
of a
that
pit.
logic, the Lions are not Super Bowl contenders because the Bears almost like made a were able to just shred through them in the second half, you know? And
Mm-hmm.
I think ultimately, and
We
we'll
have
talk more
double
about
the
this,
score.
ultimately it comes down to um teams play better when they're playing their division rivals because
Okay, hear me out. We doubled their score. You won by three.
yes, we did. And you could also, I mean, you could look at other teams who are quote unquote Super Bowl contenders, who only beat a division rival by three. Specifically the Raiders playing the Chiefs. And what was the score when the Ravens played the Steelers the first time? Did they only win by? They only
Oh,
won by a couple.
no, Raven. Yeah, the Steelers won by I think like two.
Yeah. So and yeah, the Steelers won by exactly 2 points. So it's not like I don't think when it comes to first of all, the Bills do I will agree with you have a problem.
Listen, guys,
Not even
yeah,
Josh Allen. The Bills have a
we're not even
problem.
on the game yet.
I know. The Bills have a problem playing down to their opponent. But also divisional football is different. So, but
I
we'll
mean,
talk
no,
about
that's
that later.
fair. Like, if you look at, I think our closest games for the Lions have been division games.
Yeah, that's literally like the Lions are Super Bowl
Oh, except for the
contenders.
Bills. Yeah, except for the Bills, obviously.
Yeah, the Lions are Super Bowl contenders. It's just that uh, when you play a divisional opponent, it's always going to be close. Even that Bears game, I mean, obviously they blew the Bears out, but the first
Okay.
time they played, they won by three. The
Yeah,
Lions won by 3.
I'm definitely wrong. I forgot about the Texans game, and we're not starting. We're not talking about the first 3 games of the season. Those were the first 3 games of the season. You guys can go
Yeah,
through
those
them.
are, yeah, I was gonna say the first 3 games. Anyway, sorry to get off topic because I started ranting. Um, before we get into the recaps, though, guys, I know that obviously Gus and Eunice do
Hmm.
not celebrate Christmas religiously. However, do you guys have any plans for the holiday?
Ah, my aunt's coming over tomorrow.
That's good. Yeah, Christmas Eve.
About it. That's about it.
Cool. Do you and your family? I think you guys said you exchanged gifts, or do you not?
Um, Mainly for the kids. That's
Okay.
about it now.
Yeah, I was about to
Yeah.
Okay.
say that.
Cool. Dijon, what are you and your family doing? Because I know you're visiting your father in Texas right now.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we got family down there. There's grandma, cousins, brother, sister. Um. But yeah. No, is hanging out. We're gonna have a Christmas Eve dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Also a Christmas dinner. I think
That.
the
Hmm.
Christmas dinner is just gonna be leftovers, but yeah, Christmas Eve dinner.
Mhm. Eh,
Um, it's presents are for just the kids.
Mm-hmm.
I think my dad's gonna force me to be Santa again.
Hey, that sounds fun.
Yeah, all it is just putting fucking presents on the tree and then eating the cookies and milk.
Mm.
Oh, dude, I want to be Santa.
Yeah, I was gonna say, bro. Like, I'm
You
kind
know
of
what's
built like
crazy?
him. Like, I could do it. I could pull it off.
Last year after we did it, my dad came downstairs and was like, "Y'all done?" We were like, "Yeah." He's like, "I'm watching this documentary. You want to watch it?" It's like, so you just wanted us to do it.
Yep. Sounds about right.
That's funny. Um, I am going back tomorrow to visit family, and we're probably gonna, exchange a couple gifts and Christmas and stuff. And I will be in town until Saturday because we're doing the get together on Friday,
Hmm. Right.
which I am extremely excited for.
Oh, me
I
too, dude. Oh my
cannot
God.
wait for you to see my gift, Gus.
Me
I,
too.
dude, I'm so excited. I was talking to my grandma about it today. 'Cause she asked me if we were gonna do anything, like me and my friends, and I was like, yeah, we're doing a gift exchange, and I like I keep saying, I think there's gonna be a fight over my gift.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited. But to get in to the recaps, Thursday night football, like I said, like we've been doing for the past couple weeks, I'm going to just skim through these games. If you guys have something to say, just interject
Gotcha.
at your pleasure. And if I think it's something important to talk about, I will talk about it in depth. But I'm basically gonna try to steamroll through these because um, the predictions always take minimum like
So long. Yeah.
an hour for just predictions. So anyway, Thursday night football, Broncos versus Chargers. I forgot to look up how many passing yards Bo Nix had, but you know, they I feel like the score kind of doesn't really show you the full picture of this game. It was in the first half it was all Broncos, second half it was all Chargers, pretty much.
Hmm.
They also had a fair catch field goal. That was the first time that one had been done since 1976. And the last team to do it was the Chargers. And
Damn.
a fair catch field goal is like a fair catch. It's like a penalty on a fair catch. And instead of which you're allowed to get like a free kickoff where no one can block,
Huh.
which was crazy. Like I was watching it and I was like, I have no idea why. At first I was like, I don't know why they're lined up like that because they didn't really explain it very well on the
Right.
broadcast. But then everybody afterwards was like, oh, it's, they can't block it. And it's returnable if it were to be, short. And I think it was like a
Okay.
57 yarder. So it was cool. Also, Cameron Dicker, who is the kicker for the Chargers, in his Pro Bowl, he made like an ad to nominate him for the Pro Bowl. And in his Pro Bowl ad, he would diss Tyler Bass. I don't know if you guys saw the video. I'm sure Eunice might have. He said like, "Oh, some kickers miss, I don't," and then he showed a video of Tyler Bass missing during the Jets game. Now
Dude,
he also did show other kickers like the Jets kicker who isn't even on the roster anymore. But Tyler Bass, and the worst part was he like has been better recently. I mean, I know he missed a kick in the Lions game, but he was good yesterday.
Against the Patriots,
dude,
yeah.
I was shocked.
Great.
They called him Bassomatic. I was like, I literally was like, I watch him miss, and he did not. It was 50 yards. Anyways,
hear me out,
dude. I was looking at it like, okay, he'll miss any day now,
and he didn't. I was so pissed. Or I was like, how did he not? How did he miss this time or not miss this time? And he misses every other time.
right? No, I was pissed, bro.
What did you say to John?
hear me out. This has the potential, right? Okay, how does field goals work? I know they like throw it, the guy sets it, and the kicker kicks, right?
Yeah.
How much of a run up is allowed for the kicker?
Only a couple yards.
Okay, because I was about to say that's the fair catch field goals where you can't block.
Yeah.
Sounds like the easiest way to get the record for longest field goal. Because I was about to say, fuck, I'm doing a run up. Hell yeah. Send that bitch.
The fair catch field goal, like you're in like a Hail Mary protection formation, you know?
Okay.
So you don't really, no one's rushing you. They're mostly just standing there to see like, okay, if it's, because it's like I said, 57 yarder. So it's like, if it misses, someone can catch it, you know? Or try to return it.
That's why I'm like, hear me out. Jake Bates.
I was going to say, Jake Bates needs to set the record because I'm tired of, I'm glad Eunice is here because I can slander Lamar.
Oh my goodness. When he had the opportunity for the 65, I'm like, fuck.
Dude.
Please hit this.
When I heard he missed, I was sad. I know I have him in fantasy, but I love him. Jake Bates is awesome.
The distance, which was great. He had enough distance. I'm not even joking. A 68. Like
that's crazy.
That's how high it was when it hit that net. It was just too far right.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Oh, dude. Speaking of wide right, we'll get to him in a minute. So Chiefs versus Texans. Chiefs beat the Texans. Wasn't surprised. I guess I was surprised that poor Tank Dell just got absolutely destroyed. Like when he landed on his knee, I saw his leg get kind of rolled over by three dudes, and I thought that was the issue. But people were like, "Oh no, his knee." He tore his ACL, he dislocated his kneecap, and then they said and other damage. So he's out for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Instead, they picked up Deontay Johnson, who I imagine will do genuinely nothing. Although, and it sounds like he's going to be playing against the Ravens on Wednesday. I missed most of the Chiefs game because I was what was I even doing? Oh, I went to Target. But and Meyer. But like, dude, it's just like it's the Chiefs, you know. Can't put up more than 30 points. What else is new? And Chris Jones got hurt, but I did not hear anything about if that is a long-term injury or not.
Right.
And then the Steelers played the Ravens. That was the game I was the most excited for, and God, it sucked. Like it was first of all, I love Russell Wilson. So what I'm about to say,
Be careful though. It's spicy.
you know, it's gonna hurt. Okay. It's gonna hurt for me to say this. He is so bad that
Dude.
it is not like I guess he's not that bad, but that First of all, he had a pick that just was soul crushing. And he fumbled. Did not slide. You'd think he played baseball, he would know. He did not know. And close game until the end, and then the Ravens, Lamar stat padded. Speaking of wide right, overshot, I believe, Bateman for a crazy interception. And honestly, like I said, I'm glad Eunice is not here. He barely hit 200 yards. Like I think it took him, 207 passing yards. But the real MVP of this game was Derrick Henry. The pretty good Steelers defense. I don't know how much of the games you guys watched, but the pretty good Steelers defense had no answer for Derrick Henry. Like, it was brutal. Also, Lamar fumbled the ball, but the Ravens got it. And a fumble that put them out of field goal range. So, like I said, so now the AFC North is going to come down to, can the Steelers clutch up and beat the Texans or beat the Chiefs? Which I think the answer will be, spoiler alert, no. But then for the Sunday slate, the Falcons beat the Giants. What else is new? Penix, this was a great game for him to go into because the Giants are so bad that it's like it's not even really like a question.
Yeah. And he had a hell of a rookie game, dude.
He threw one interception that honestly shouldn't even be counted as an interception. I hate that.
Dude, Pitts threw it to the defender.
Dude,
you can't convince me otherwise.
Everybody was dogging on Kyle Pitts for the entire. I saw like an AI generated video of Penix where he was like, "My bad for throwing that." He's like, "That pick was that pick was my fault because I threw it to Kyle Pitts. I should have never drafted his dog ass in fantasy. He's been a bust for 3 years." It was so funny.
Oh my god.
So good on Penix. I am rooting for him, even though I am shitting on the Falcons. I still think they are first round exits. That's why, I was arguing with Eunice in the group chat because he loves to argue with me about random BS. And this is the Eunice hate video. It's just all coming out.
And he can't do nothing about it.
Yeah, he can't defend himself. Every time, I when I say a team is a fraud, I mean that, a team that talks a big game, their fans talk a big game like they're going to go to the playoffs. And fraud to me is either you miss the playoffs or you're going to be embarrassed in the playoffs. The Falcons are frauds because whatever team they end up playing in the playoffs, they are going to lose. If not, depending on the team, they're going to get blown out. If they play the Vikings, they're going to get blown out. If they play the Packers, I would say they're probably going to get blown out. If they play the Commanders, I don't know. We'll see what happens next week. And same with the Commanders. If they play the Eagles, I don't think they're going to get blown out, but they're going to lose in the wild card.
Yeah.
Because they're probably going to end up being the 7th seed. Go ahead, Deshaun.
The Commanders. I want to say this is 3 games now where they're like, we must win on this drive, or we don't. Holy fuck,
Yeah.
It always comes down to the wire, usually with good teams for the Commanders.
And they were
I'm not saying if that's bad, but you did this with Hurts gone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh my God, we're gonna get to that game in a little bit.
Yeah, if Hurts was still there, I think Commanders straight up lost. It
would have been a blowout.
Agreed.
But because they at a certain point they could not run the ball, because they were throwing it to Barkley, but they had to stop running because they were like, oh my God, if we don't, we're going to, fall. Because the Commanders are catching up. The Eagles defense just completely sold. But so yeah, the Panthers beat the Cardinals in overtime, by the way. The Panthers had a big lead, the Cardinals came back, and the Panthers still won. So
Yeah, yeah. That was
that was
quite the game to watch,
shocking.
dude.
It's like I saw somebody post like Bryce Young when he has to play bad teams, and it's like Cam Newton. Um, which I honestly hope that is who he becomes, because it's like I like Bryce Young. It's just funny that like the fall off of the Cardinals. Like they were doing so well, and then just I think going into like I forgot, like I think they were like 4-2, and now they're like 8 and what? Or they're 7-8. So not good. They're I think they're eliminated. Oh no, they're still. Oh yeah, they're eliminated. There are only. Wow. Okay, there are only 2 NFC teams that are. There are 4 that are seeded, but it's not set yet. And then there are 2 that are like potentially gonna sneak in, but it's unlikely in the NFC. And then there are only 2 spots that are available in the AFC, and then there are 3 that are on the bubble, is what it says on the website. The Lions beat the Bears. Dejan, you want to talk about that?
All right. So it could have just been the Bears. Now, yes, and the second half. No, it was the first half actually. I think it was second quarter. Bears started making some fucking plays,
Mm-hmm.
up there, and then it stopped there. So, first of all, an amazing start for the Lions, terrible for the Bears. Uh, First 3 drives for the Bears went like this: 3 and out, fumble recovered by Lions, fumble recovered by Lions.
Mm-hmm.
If that isn't a fucking start you want, I don't know what is. I'm talking about for the Lions. For the
Yeah.
Bears, obviously, that. But so, but after that, you know, Lions just kept the lead. Um, I mean, the defense played well. I don't. That's why I'm like, I don't know if it was because of the Bears or if our defense, like Campbell said, was like, no, we still got people who know. We still got good defense. It's
Well,
just
Kirby Joseph is still there. Is Brian
yeah.
Branch injured, or is he still there?
No, Branch is still there.
Okay.
So like, it's I want to say it's mainly linemen that are injured, and then corners. But yeah. So like the game went fine. Um, in my eyes, yeah, it went fine. So
It went fine.
thanks, man. Thanks, man. Yeah, I mean, there's
That's
not much to say to me because fuck yeah. The reason I didn't bring it up is because we already talked about it, but I think everyone knows the balls for Dan Campbell.
the fucking trip.
The
What the hell was that,
the
dude?
That was
fake
awesome.
someone was like, the Lions are going for clips.
Basically, dude.
Dude,
Like,
Will Levis is out of Will Levis got benched. Dan Campbell's like, fine, I'll do it myself.
Literally.
who said it was like, yeah, I think they said, I think golf was like, we practiced that like
I
3
saw.
days or something. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Dude, I love
So
it.
they were like, we're using this against the Bears. We're gonna sneak it in somewhere.
Embarrass your
Of course it was a
division, man.
touchdown.
Embarrass your
Of course it
division.
was for a touchdown. Like, man, I'm really gonna miss our offensive coordinator, Ben Johnson.
Ben Johnson, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll miss him too, because he's great.
Come
And
to the Patriots. Let's see what happens.
I think they're gonna keep Mayo.
Okay.
I think they're gonna keep Mayo. We'll see what happens though.
Yeah, I don't know where he's going because he said he's. I think he said he wants a good team. So I'm sorry.
I heard him say he wants a team that will. They don't even have to be good. They just have to have good ownership.
Yeah.
And a good
Kraft is great
GM.
on.
Yeah, Kraft. At
Okay,
least
so
he
not the Cowboys.
listens to his GM. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So not the Cowboys.
Not the
Giants.
Cowboys. I think Kraft to me is like I heard someone say who was a head coach say the best thing for a head coach or the best kind of owner is one that will shut up and sign checks. And it's like that is so true. And that is how Kraft comes off to me. That's how the Bills owner comes off to me. Because you never hear. I mean, I've heard stuff about Kraft, but not anything where it's like he got in the way of, Belichick, especially because it's Belichick.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I don't know. Are you gonna say it?
No, what were you gonna say?
That he's not going to the Bills because
Yeah, no, because Sean McDermott is never going to be fired, and I'm going to be pulling my hair out.
I mean, he's leading the team to a potentially #1 seed.
It ain't going to happen, but I would love that. It's funny. I was literally like talking to Claire about it, and she was like, "Well, the Bills are not going to get the 1 seed." I'm like, "It's possible," and I was like breaking it down. She's like, "Yeah, but that's not going to happen." I'm like, "It could." It's possible
because, in my opinion, they should be tired. I know Steelers are also going to be tired, but like, it's definitely possible.
It's possible, but it's not. I agree, it's not gonna happen. But it would be awesome if the Chiefs lose to the Steelers, they have to play their starters against the Broncos.
Yep.
So, the Broncos are gonna they're gonna be fighting for their lives. So we'll see what happens.
I mean, last time they faced each other, the Chiefs only won by 2.
Yeah, a blocked field goal, and I don't think that's gonna happen again. The Broncos look so much better.
See, my thing is, if they're doing that throughout the playoffs, I think then people are going to be like, okay, the NFL truly is rigged.
Yeah, I mean, we already got people talking about the, people they talk about the officiating and how like it's rigged every single game. So,
okay, let me say this. I see. The thing is, I bitch both ways. Like Bears had a holding during our game where even as a Lions fan, you gotta be like, yeah, that just wasn't holding. Bro tapped his shoulder. That's not fucking holding.
yeah.
You know? So it's like people gotta look at it both ways. The reason why Chiefs fans are not ever gonna call the shit out is because it's like it goes their way.
They call it out when it happens to them and then act like it never happens to anyone else.
Exactly. That's the fucking fan base is like. I wouldn't say with most teams. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it really happens with like the Patriots, guys. I'm sorry, I don't really be watching your games. Where it's like people are like
happens to every team.
No, the fans are like one-sidedly like, these fucking calls are dog shit. But it's like if you look at it, it's just bad both ways. With the Chiefs, it's more bad one way.
Yeah, that's the thing is with the Chiefs, it is always more bad than like for them. You know what I mean? Like and if you actually break it down, like there are.
What I wanted to say, I forgot to say it during when you were talking about the fucking Chiefs. Look, you guys see. My thing is, all right, you guys got to hop off it. This is the thing that pisses me off more than everyone. The Chiefs are a decent team. They have amazing players. They have superstar receivers. They have a fucking amazing tight end. The thing is, y'all gotta fucking hop off Mahomes' dick during the game.
Yeah.
The fucking commentator's like, those are 4 rare misses for Mahomes. My brother in Christ, he overthrew 3 open receivers and threw a ball at Kelsey's back. Do not say rare. He threw bad. Just say it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't try to collect it and be like, It's a very rare occurrence this happens. No, he just threw shit. It was a bad pass.
Yeah, like that's the thing with the announcers too, is like they don't want to say anything that's like super, like they're fine dogging on whatever team that the Chiefs are playing, but they don't want to shit on the best team in the NFL or like what people think is like the new dynasty, you know? Because it's not cool to hate on the new dynasty if you're essentially if you work for the NFL. Like the announcers, they don't work for the NFL, they work for the networks, but the networks pay the NFL. So it's like I don't want to say there's bias, but there is kind of bias, you know? Like
I 100% believe it because, like, let's say someone was like calling it how it was for Mahomes, you would randomly you would notice he doesn't commentate for any Chiefs games anymore. I 100% believe that would happen.
oh yeah.
Like,
It would because the networks will set the officiating crew or not officiating the commentary crews up.
yeah, and be like, oh, this guy's
Yeah, this
he
guy.
commentated once for the Chiefs. What happened after that? I
Yeah,
thought we were on a rotation.
yeah, or they'll penalize you and be like, oh, you don't get any of the good games or the games with no prime time.
All
You
of a
know.
sudden, he's watching fucking Raiders, and it's like, okay.
Oh yeah, that would suck. Speaking of Raiders, but so to get back to the recaps, Colts beat the Titans barely, but they were doing very well throughout the entire game.
Taylor had a
He had such a good dude. I saw somebody who like lost their fantasy league because Taylor just decided to pop off to that game.
Taylor has been good.
Yeah, he just never dude, he put up like almost 40 points.
Yeah, no, Taylor is definitely great. If he had like a better team,
Dude, his contract's up this year. So,
yeah,
people think he's just going to go to a better team.
yeah, like who's a good team that needs a running back? Maybe Packers.
Patriots.
You need a what?
Yeah, you know that's what
A
happened
running
to me
back.
against Patriots.
Or do you like Stevenson?
I don't think
I mean,
he's a
Stevenson
big
played
enough
good.
problem to prioritize him as a replacement. I don't think we should be looking into running backs.
Okay.
I mean,
Well, yeah, the O-line is the number one
He's
priority.
Yeah, the only O-line is the problem. We can't run the ball because there's no O-line. Stevenson he has turned the ball over a lot recently, but
Yeah.
that has been this season. It has not been like a trend with him, and I'm hoping it's just something going on. It's not long term.
Yeah, I think cuz he was okay before that,
Mhm.
you know. It's just
He's
the
he's
O-line is bad.
serviceable, and right now we're not in a position to look to replace him like at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I guess other than that, Taylor, I have no idea, you know. Like um I'm trying to think like I just don't know. Bills, I like our running backs, keep them all.
he could stay for like he could just stay because a relationship he builds up with the team.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be watching Colts games, so I don't know how long Jonathan Taylor's been around, you know. But like the Colts, mm, they're so far they're 7-8, um, so they could be doing better next year. Like I don't know what's
Mhm.
going through his mind. Me personally, if I was him, I'd be like, I'm definitely better than this.
Huh, yeah, I would leave. I'd
Um,
leave.
let's see who wants me right now.
God, this offseason is going to be crazy.
Yeah.
So many teams that need quarterbacks. Um,
Hmm.
and we'll just see what happens. The Jets, dude, this game was uncomfortably close for the Rams, and they are not beating the fraud allegations either.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're not.
Because I know that they, fucking shoot out with the Bills. Okay, whatever. That literally does not impress me because our defense is horrible. They've had two games that were just back to back horrible. And the Jets, we play the Jets next week. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
That one, I'm like, Aaron Rodgers is going to come out looking like he's in his fucking prime. And I know that's exactly what's going to happen. And it's just, ugh. Commanders, so the Commanders-Eagles game, like we were alluding to earlier. Jalen Hurts, I watched this whole game in full. And when Jalen Hurts went down, I immediately knew there was something wrong with him. But I didn't think it was a concussion. I just thought, like, I knew he looked like he was slow to get up to the point where I was like, oh, he might be injured. He came back in the game, or he was about to go back in the game, but literally as he was stepping on the field, they were like, no, we need to check you out again. And then he had a concussion. They went into the locker room. Yeah, Kenny Pickett did okay, actually. But he had a pretty bad interception where it was just like, who was he throwing to? I think it was Devonta Smith. I can't remember if it was Smith or A.J. Brown. Had a 4th down drop to keep the Commanders alive. And it was just brutal. Commanders barely squeaked it out, though. And like I said, I like the Commanders. And actually, did you guys hear about the stuff with the actually, I'll talk about it later. It's an intermission type of thing. I'll have to look it up so I can remember. But anyway, I think that the Commanders are good. I was gonna actually say this earlier when you were talking about the Commanders, John. Going into this game, they were 0-4 against teams that are in the playoffs currently.
Oh, I forgot to say this about the Bears game, but after they lost after that Hail Mary loss, they haven't won.
Yes, they have not won, Vince. Basically, I think that the Commanders are good. Obviously, they've struggled against teams that are like actually good, but also they haven't really played a lot of teams besides the Eagles that are actually good. They played the Ravens, did they, or did they play the Steelers? Yeah, no, they played the Ravens. Played the Steelers, lost the Steelers barely, and the Steelers are having issues. So it's kind of just like you have to actually, you can't just look at the picture and say you have to actually kind of dissect it. And I think the Commanders are good, just not good enough to make a deep run yet. Give them a few more years. The Bengals blew out the Browns, but what did you expect?
I thought it was a closer game than it should have been.
24-6.
Well, there was that one touchdown that got called back, and that 24 was a late score as well.
Oh, okay.
It was 17.
I didn't watch
it was
the game,
17-0 for a bit. It was almost 17-13.
I saw.
Came
I think
close. The call got reversed, and they didn't get it.
Was it Jerome Ford that
Yeah.
like had that crazy run, but it resulted in no points.
I think so.
Also, oops, I just hit my mic. I think I want to look up if this is true. Oh no, okay, never mind. Yeah, Dorian Thompson Robinson, who is the current quarterback fill-in for the Browns, had 2 interceptions, no touchdowns, and 154 yards. And then obviously Jerome Ford had almost 100 and 1 touchdown. They missed the extra point, or did they go for 2? Probably.
I can't remember.
So the Browns season's already over. I saw someone say, like, are the Browns trying to get everyone ready for the Deshaun Watson comeback?
Oh, God.
Which I don't... That's the thing. If that happens, they need to be investigated. Like, that has to be tanking. Like, because the quarterback class is not good this year in the draft. The only good quarterback is the guy who's probably going to go first. Well, actually, I've heard Cam Ward is good, but it seems like the number 1 overall pick is going to be Shador Sanders. I don't know if you guys know much about college football. I kind of know just enough to follow it, but not like super in depth.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
too well adversed with like the whole draft class and all that.
All I know is Ashton Genty should have won the Heisman,
Mm.
and he literally he's such a good running back. Um, but yeah, so we'll see. Um, then the Seahawks, it was a nail biter, but they unfortunately lose to the Vikings by 3 points. I think the Vikings had a late game, like Geno threw a pick late game that sealed it while they were trying to drive down the field.
I think that
Yeah,
was.
yeah,
I think that's what happened.
sounds
So
about right.
I think that's the thing. Like the Seahawks, they're like okay. I think they're good. It's just like they do good against certain teams where I'm like, wow, I can't believe they fought that hard, and then they do bad against teams where I'm like, man, they should have won. But
Mm.
it's just like it's so hard to judge them, and I don't know how long Geno is going to be there. Not that this
It's
is going to be as like they're not really in a position to draft a quarterback. It's just maybe next year is the last year. You know,
mm.
tank for Arch Manning. If he, I don't even know if he would declare, but you know. Then, ugh. Oh, so the Bills survive against the Patriots
Barely,
barely.
barely.
I'll let Gus say his thoughts first, but before I do, I want to say that Sean McDermott said someone asked him to like describe the defense in or I forgot the exact quote, but someone asked him to like describe the defense's troubles,
Hmm.
and he said like, "Oh, I want to use a plane analogy, but I'm going to stop myself from doing that." And that is in reference to last
9/11.
year
Oh,
when yes, when he I don't know if you guys remember, but last year it kind of surfaced that one of his first years coaching, he used a 9/11 metaphor to get everybody hyped.
oh my God.
And so he was kind of making a joke about that,
Yeah.
which I thought was funny. Like, I, but, so Gus, go ahead. Tell us about the Patriots.
Oh man, I just want to say
And I don't want to hear shit
I
about what you're about to say.
I already know exactly what I'm gonna say because I spent a while trying to make a TikTok about it.
Did you post
So
it?
I'm
Because
gonna.
I looked for it, but thinking you would, but I didn't see it.
Oh, it's posted. Yeah, it's
Oh,
posted.
okay, then I have to look after this.
So I want to preface this by saying I did not watch the first part of the game where we scored our first two touchdowns. I was driving, and then by the time I started watching was when things started taking a turn downhill for us.
Okay.
Now, great start to the game. I saw the clips, and dude, I was jumping up and down even knowing the result afterwards. You know what I mean? It's I saw glimpses of what I've been wanting to see for a while, especially with some of the play calling in the first half. I mean, I thought that fake punt on our own 20 was just the funniest thing in the world, and it's something we should have been doing this whole time. You know, we had no expectation or reason to be good.
Mm-hmm.
At least pull up with the big pull up with some plays. You know what I mean? Because we got to do a little bit extra to get a bit to get the same or a little bit less. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like we really are in that kind of position, and just oh my, that game was just the pinnacle of what's been wrong with us this entire year. Drake May was scrambling constantly, dude. He had zero time in the pocket. Just go back and watch any Patriots
Bro.
snap, and you'll see what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. It
Bills
was bad,
flipped,
dude.
and I just saw all the linemen.
Dude, they just walked
Dude.
through our line every single time.
Every play.
Dude, they just kept sending the blitz. We couldn't stop it. We couldn't stop it. And I, yeah, I still believe that's why that interception was thrown when we got to the Bills goal line. And that one, let me just say, the way my heart sank when I saw that.
Well, that was tipped, wasn't it?
No.
No, it wasn't
It was
touch. It
just
Oh,
was pressure in the pocket. He threw
yeah.
it. It just went straight to the defender. And that was heartbreaking, but I still can't be mad at May for it. Because the whole game that was his one interception. It's not like we were the only ones making mistakes as well. In a game like that, when you had we punched the ball out, I think twice or maybe even three times, even though none of them turned out our way. We did get an interception from Allen as well. So the game was competitive despite our mistakes. There was enough on both sides to keep us not only competitive but in a position to win the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
We were in a position to win the entire time until I'm pretty sure this was right after a Bills touchdown or a Bills field goal.
It was right after the field goal.
Yep, the field goal where you guys took the lead
Yep.
17-14. And we decide we were inside our own 5-yard line, right? Let's throw a lateral play back to our goal line to Stevenson. To this day, I don't understand what the thought process was, or it made me so mad to see something so simple go so wrong so fast. Right then and there, the game was over. Despite what happened or what could have happened or would have happened afterwards, I knew that there was zero chance that there was any comeback. And when we got to the goal line again, it took 3 penalties, nearly 12 snaps if we
God,
wanted
I
to.
fucking hate Kyer
Bro,
Elam.
dude.
He had
Oh my God.
every
Yeah.
penalty that resulted in that last touchdown was on Kyer Elam.
And the fact we shouldn't have gotten that touchdown, honestly.
Our defense is
We
so bad.
really we we really shouldn't have. It was just mistake after mistake by your defense after shutting us out. You guys would stop us and then just let us go again.
Our only good defensive player, not only, but the one who literally puts the defense on, the Josh Allen of our defense, got fucking knocked out by another Bills player trying to tackle. I think it was Ramondre Stevenson.
That is so funny.
This is the guy who jumped on the ball when it was the backwards pass, which by the way I didn't know was a live ball.
Yeah,
I was like,
didn't know
why
either.
why are we acting like they fumbled? It's not a fumble.
Yeah,
And then
no.
it's like
I was
touchdown
watching.
Bills. I'm like, what?
I was watching with my uncle, and he was as soon as he saw it, he was like, "Oh my God, that's a lateral. That counts as a fumble immediately."
Dude, yeah. Like
I'm not, dude. And the thing is, like, I'm not even mad that it was dropped. I'm mad that we made that play. I'm mad that we couldn't have just ran the ball like every other team because that would have resulted in the same thing, if not a safety.
so I have a question for you. And I mean
Mm.
this in all seriousness, not even to shit talk.
Yo,
Because it's not even a bad question. I'm just saying that to preface it.
I
Um
got you.
I know that obviously everybody knows the Patriots have a bad O-line. The
Hmm.
receivers are kind of shaky. I know, like you sent a graphic where like there are 100 and that one guy's like 128th overall.
That's both, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Um,
our wide receiver, one or two.
that's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I know, obviously, we all know that they need a new O line. They need more weapons. Hunter Henry is perfect.
He really is.
There were genuinely points where I was like, I can't even be mad because he is so good that
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of hard to hate him, even though I hate our defense, not him. So my question to you is, I've seen a lot of Patriots fans on Twitter because I try to follow everyone to get
Right.
different perspectives, hating on Gerard Mayo and Alex Van Pelt, the OC.
Yes.
So my
Yes.
question, I know that Alex Van Pelt probably on the hot seat this season, but
Mm-hmm.
my question to you is, so what do you think about getting rid of him or keeping him? And then what do you think about Mayo? Do you want to do one more year, or do you have no problem just because this is the first year of a rebuild?
I'm conflicted. I'll tell
Okay.
you that much. I'll tell you that much right now. I'm very conflicted with this because on one hand, yes, he's new,
Mm-hmm.
right? This is his first year, sure. On the other hand, this is his first year ever as a head coach. He was rushed into the position. He doesn't have enough experience as a coordinator, as a defensive coordinator, to really be to be a favorable head coach potential. You know what I mean? He was rushed into the position, and I think he doesn't have the confidence or the grit to really push this team in the kind of direction I want to go. He
Mm-hmm.
seems very uh, uninformed and nervous during the press conferences. He doesn't, and that reflects in the play calling as well. It's very, it's not aggressive. It's just, it's not even. It's built to tank. It's this
Mm-hmm.
method of offense is not built to really score or to win games.
Right. And I
And
saw.
even during a rebuild season, even during like a tank season, I you there needs to like we need it. You need to play. You need to play to win.
Mm-hmm.
You need to know how to play to win, and that's just I don't see them doing that enough. Finally, a lot of people are saying they finally like started to get what they want with this Bills game, which is why I gave kudos to that fake punt because we're finally seeing some like actual thought behind like the offensive play calling.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like being in this kind of position where we're transitioning into a make or break moment where like if this doesn't work out, we kind of have to wait a few more years to kind of get things going again. I'm at the position where like they should be under even more scrutiny, but I don't think anybody should lose their job just yet. I've been
Mm-hmm.
seeing talks about another head coach trying to like interested in the Patriots.
Vrabel.
Yeah, I think that's the one.
He actually
And that kind
played
of
for the Patriots under Belichick.
interesting.
So did
That
Mayo.
kind of gets me hopeful. Oh yeah, that one I know. And honestly, like the thing is, I don't even want to get rid of Mayo. I just don't think he's cut to be a head coach. You know, I
Mm-hmm.
don't think we should turn his back on. I don't think the franchise should turn his back on him or just move on from him entirely. That's not what I'm saying. But I think we should look for head coaching positions. I think he should prioritize the defense because put him on defense. Put him on the
Mm-hmm.
defense coordinator. And I do think our OC does need to go. It's just
I was gonna say.
I feel like that position is more expendable
I was
than
gonna.
the head coach.
I was gonna say one thing I had seen was like you were talking about the press conferences, kind of the infighting between Mayo and Van Pelt.
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
like Mayo will say something because I know a lot of people want May to scramble, not scramble, do like designed runs more, right?
There are yeah, we don't have many design quarterback runs.
And someone asked him like, why is that not in the playbook? And he was like, ask Van Pelt, I don't know.
Hmm.
And I yeah, I agree with you. I've seen a lot of people say, both Patriots fans and not, say Pelt's got to go, and
Yeah.
that Mayo shouldn't necessarily go, but that he's making mistakes that like a rookie coach makes, which he is a rookie coach.
Yes, he
So,
is.
but yeah, I think
And that's the
honestly
thing.
the
I don't know
Patriots
what
are just
Kraft's
moving
going
in the
on.
right direction. You know, like
They are. They are. This offseason is going to be critical, but I think it's really hard to mess up. What I'm concerned with is the coaching talent in terms of developing our star players because we do have star players in terms of Drake May and Gonzalez, and
mhm
we are looking to draft and sign a lot more over the offseason. Can these guys create that kind of morale and atmosphere, momentum, and
mhm
mindset, and have proper training for these guys? That's what I'm really interested to see, to say the least. I'm not really. Uh, I'm split between being scared and excited for it. Honestly, it's cautious optimism, I guess,
mhm
will be the term for it.
yeah, and my last question about the Patriots is, so I know you said you don't pay attention to the college football and the draft and
Hmm.
stuff, but you guys have the second overall pick right now.
Yes, we do.
If
Yes, we
that
do.
stays, or even if you're most likely you're going to draft in the top five,
Hmm.
um, what position? Not even doesn't even have to be a player. What
Yeah,
position do you think they should draft
that's easy.
in the first round?
Yeah, that's easy. First of all, I'm pretty sure we're going to keep the second pick because that's where we're standing right now. And
Hmm.
our next 2 weeks are against the Chargers and the Bills. So even if we tried, I don't see us winning those games realistically.
Yeah,
And I'm pretty sure even if everybody else loses out, we keep our position.
hmm, you would, yeah. I'm
Yeah, so I'm
looking,
pretty sure we'll get the second.
and it seems like I don't think the Jags are gonna win their last game. The only way
Hmm.
you would win the last game would be if the starters rested, I feel like. Well,
Yeah.
actually, I don't know. I mean, we'll see.
And even
I don't
then,
think they're
like
gonna rest.
the Bills are still fighting for the 1 seed.
Yeah, if
And
Casey wins, it's over though.
that's right, yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll see how that plays out. But either way, despite where we stand, I think first and foremost, draft a receiver.
Hmm.
Draft a receiver. Yeah, our O line is very bad, but you invest in talent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Our
What do
talent
you
is
think
our
is the
future, not our
possibility
O
of T.
line.
Higgins?
This, what was that?
What do you think is the possibility for T. Higgins?
I think it's very likely. I just, I- depend. It really depends on Higgins. I know the Patriots are going to send him whatever he wants. It just depends if that's where he want to go, where he wants to go. I have no doubts that we'll give him the highest offer that he will receive out of any team.
I agree because they have a lot of
So
cap space. it
yeah, and I saw a lot of posts saying that the Patriots are ready to pay whatever.
it genuinely just depends on does Higgins want to go to the Patriots? Because I
Hmm.
think from these games, it is obvious that the Patriots are maybe next year they won't have a winning record, but they're going to be in the right direction where
Yes,
you're going to be
yes,
very close. You know,
yeah.
you might not make the
With
playoffs. I
yeah,
genuinely think 9 wins
yeah.
is the
Honestly, I
floor.
said this in my TikTok as well. I said like since this is such a big rebuild and there's just so much we need to work on. I think being 500 should be our goal for the 2025 season.
Yeah,
I think shoot for being 500 and just see where that takes you, see where you end up. I do think we should be capable of that because so many of our games were really close. And I think if we just have a bit more of that talent to give us that push to actually, convert close games into wins and convert losses into closer games, then that's all we can really ask for. It'll be such a big shift from where we're standing right now. I'd be more than ecstatic if we could break 500.
it's funny because the Dolphins are about to be the third team in the AFC East, and by a lot too. Like
Yeah.
they and the Jets are going to be the fourth still.
Dude, yeah. The Dolphins, they're selling off everybody. Tua's a bust. I think they got to go into rebuild mode, honestly.
Did you see Tyreek Hill was like
Hmm.
tweeted something where he's like, "It's time for me to go, coach."
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, hey, get rid of him, bro. Get him out of the
Uh,
East.
if he's ready to leave, bro, I'm sorry. It's yeah.
Like, I don't think they would do an in division trade just because they know.
There's no way.
Yeah,
There's no way.
but dude, if just get him out of the AFC, do not give him back to the Chiefs.
God, please.
He was already there and he left. They
Yeah.
got rid of him once, so take him to the NFC. I don't care where he goes. Just I don't want to see him again. I don't want him to go to the Ravens. I never want to see him again. And
Yeah.
he's had a horrible year this year, and it's partially because
You
Tua
can't
was
even
hurt.
put it on him, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah, uh, but yeah. So overall, from a Bills perspective, I now I don't even know where to start. James Cook had a great game. Josh Allen had an okay game. Uh, I don't think this disqualifies him from MVP, like a lot of people have been saying it does. Um,
I didn't even hear that. I think that's
I
ridiculous.
I have
I just
seen
genuinely
so
believe that they're
many.
just gonna give it to Barkley because he's going for
I don't think.
he's gonna be somebody's record. I forgot.
Did you know a wide receiver has never? It's Eric Dickerson. Um, did you know a wide receiver has never won MVP? I know Barkley's a running back.
Hmm.
But this is something that I learned, and we'll talk about it at halftime. You'll see why. Um, they do not give the MVP to running backs, or it's very rare. I don't know the exact
Oh,
number, but it's
I
they.
know.
Sorry, Deshaun, what were you saying?
I'm sorry. I know we haven't gotten to it yet, but we haven't. The week hasn't finished out. We're
Oh
tomorrow's
yeah,
supposed to
this
be
week hasn't even
football.
finished. That's right.
Yeah, I
We're gonna
know.
be busy. Right now it is 13-0
Mm-hmm.
Packers.
So it's already your prediction's already holding true. I looked it up. Um,
Correction, 14-0.
so
I need the extra point.
Oh my God, Josh Jacobs already has me 17.5 points, and I already won this week.
Yeah, you did.
the
You guys scored me
last
negative 30.
the last time a running back won MVP was 2012. The last time a non QB besides that won MVP was 1990.
Mm.
Now, granted, I personally am just going to say this. Even though it sounds like I don't think this, I think that the MVP, if we lived in a perfect world, should go to Barkley. He's probably the best running back in the NFL since prime Derrick Henry. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But and we could have an entire podcast about this. The way that and we kind of touched on it last episode, but Eunice and I were kind of arguing over Lamar, Allen, blah, Derrick Henry, blah, blah, blah. Not so much about this exactly.
Typical.
It literally, yeah, I know. It literally just comes down to like the voters have insane bias towards quarterbacks, and they do not. Literally, a report came out that Josh Allen broke his left hand, and he's been playing through a broken left hand the entire time. And I've seen MVP voters literally publicly say, because all the MVP voters are journalists. I have seen MVP voters literally publicly say, yeah, the only way Josh Allen would not get my MVP vote would be if he threw like several game losing interceptions in the last 2 weeks.
That's insane.
And it's like and it's like you could obviously that is not fair like to Barkley. And I personally don't think Barkley's going to break the record because they're probably going to rest their starters week 18. But if he does play, he will break the record. So I think
100%.
Barkley is a lock for Offensive Player of the Year. And I think he should win MVP, but I don't think he will because there's just a quarterback bias.
Yeah. This is how I see that happens, by the way, is if he's fairly close to beating it, I would throw him in and be like, all right, we're going to like give it to you a decent amount. Not too much to like just injure the fuck out of him, but like be like, oh, there's like an obvious hole. Let's fucking run it real quick, you know?
But even then, there was like a week where he was gonna break his like all time in a single game, and the coach asked him like, "Do you want to play?" And he was like, "Nah, it's okay. Like we're already up by a lot. Just like give it to the rookie or give it to the backup." So I think if he's breaking the record and if it's like close enough, like the 1 seed, they'll play him. If the Vikings lose to the Packers next week and the Lions lock it up, I would say they'll probably sit him. But we'll see what happens. So yeah, from a Bills perspective, horrible defense. I've been saying that for 16 weeks now, so it's not really a surprise. It's just like we have so many injuries today, and I saw people tweeting out the injury list an hour before the game started and saying like, "Oh, this is going to be a Drake May legacy game, isn't it?" And I even said last week on the podcast, Drake May is going to go off because our defense sucks, and we have a lot of injuries, and this week was no different. Like,
I do want to clarify. I did miss one thing. Drake May absolutely outperformed Josh Allen.
In terms of touchdowns and yards, yes. Like
yes,
he just
he outperformed him.
Although if we want to get technical here, Drake May extended his 8-game consecutive 8 consecutive games with an interception to, I believe, 9 games with an
All right, bro.
interception. Yeah. So,
Yeah. But if you count it, 6 of those were after the receiver has touched the ball. So you can take that information as you will.
Okay.
Yeah, take that information as you will.
As a Bills fan, because I heard Josh Allen say, because they obviously asked him, like, why was the offense struggling? And he said, we're at a point where we don't want to dig into our bag of tricks, because if we can play for the 1 seed, we need to start doing some crazy shit to win these games. And he said, like, we talked about it and we don't want to do that yet because we need to save all of our surprises and all of our, tricks and stuff. So I just think that, we'll see what happens. Josh Allen injured his hand in the game, and it was his throwing hand too, which made me so happy. I was like, wow, this is amazing.
We'll see how that affects. Well, do you guys have an easy game tomorrow?
Yeah, we play the Jets.
Not tomorrow.
Next week.
Okay. Yeah.
So the thing is, though, it wasn't like he said it that he like fell on his funny bone and it made his hand feel weird, is what he said. So I believe him, and I'm sure he'll be on the injury report just for precaution.
For sure.
But you could see kind of as after that happened, he was rusty for a little bit, and then he looked fine throwing like the medium passes. Wasn't really doing anything super crazy, but still. So overall, I do not see that as a worry, especially because he said, I feel fine now. It's just like, the cold made the game worse. Apparently it was like 9 degrees in Orchard Park.
Yeah, I heard it was really cold.
So, which also impacted the Patriots because both teams just could not hold the ball towards the end of the game.
Yeah, like so many fumbles that game.
Yeah. So, me personally, it's like I knew the defense was bad. We'll see what happens. I expect it to get slightly better as time goes on, especially when people from injuries come back. But yeah, I don't think we'll have a game again where the offense is this bad until we lose in the divisional round to the Chiefs. Then the offense will just be, bad. Anyway, so overall, not too bad. On TikTok, I said that the Raiders were going to win. We all predicted the Raiders were going to win. Someone in my comments shit on me because they said the Raiders were not going to play themselves out of the first round draft pick.
Well, you thought wrong, buddy.
I literally immediately when I saw the Raiders won, I was like, the second the game ended, I said, so what happened?
I don't blame you.
Because
People
the Raiders played themselves out of the first round draft pick. They are now the 6th round draft pick. The funniest part too, the head coach said he does not care. Apparently, like, a reporter got into the locker room and said, like, everyone was celebrating. The owner was going up to players individually and congratulating them on the win. They were blasting music.
That is so funny.
And so, that's how I would. I mean, that's the thing, right? Is that I've always believed that like players do not tank on purpose.
We're 3-12.
Yeah, they're like, let's fucking go. One thing people don't understand is like teams do not tank on purpose. Like, I mean, that's the thing is
players, I doubt.
Players do
like,
not.
You can put people in positions to make it not favorable.
Yeah, it's like the head coach or the GM might say, okay, we're taking this guy out and we're going to make it look like it's, not for tanking purposes when it is. But players, they are playing to get massive contracts. They're not playing because they're like, oh, I want a better draft pick next year. A lot of the players aren't even going to be on the team. So it's like I have always believed that like they're going to find a way to just play themselves out of the draft pick. I knew the Giants were going to get the first overall pick. because the Giants don't have an easy rest of schedule. And there's 2 games left. So, the Dolphins beat the Niners. The Cowboys barely beat the Bucks. I had so much high hopes for the Bucks, but now that is squashed. So those.
Because of all this,
Oh yeah, the Falcons are the 4th seed now,
yeah.
Wow.
and I think they only need if the Bucks lose one more game, which I'll be honest doesn't seem likely. Although I guess next week is the best chance that they have. So if the Falcons win out, they or the Bucks lose one game, the Falcons automatically are are a playoff. They won their division. But if the Bucks win out and the Falcons drop one more, then the Bucks win the division. And the Falcons have to play coming up this week the Commanders. But honestly, I was thinking about it and I have no idea who to pick for that. So, 2 things I wanted to bring up. One is at the half point of the podcast. One is that I don't know if you guys saw, but the Commanders. Did you? So, this is gonna sound stupid. How much have you guys been following recent politics?
Not
I heard the
Specific.
government shutdown.
It did not. They barely avoided a
not.
shutdown by several hours. That's not even a joke.
Ah,
So actually, Gus, that you brought up the government shutdown, part of that bill, in the original draft of the bill, was to give the land that is owned. So the Commanders used to play in RFK Stadium when they were the Redskins, not the Commanders. They moved to FedEx Field, which I heard is just absolutely horrible. In terms of it's crumbling and they need a new stadium.
right.
Actually, I'm sorry. Apparently now it's called Commanders Field. But it was called FedEx Field until a few months ago. So the Commanders used to play at RFK Stadium. They moved. Now they are a part of the DC. So part of the government, the bill, the original bill that was drafted for the government spending was that the federal government bought RFK Field or RFK Stadium. Yes, the RFK Stadium named after RFK Jr.'s father. I just had to shoehorn him into this. So the federal government bought it, but part of the bill was to sell it back to the state, or sorry, what would you even call it? DC. It's not a state, it's a district. I'm so stupid. It's literally in the name. So RFK Field was sold back to DC or given back to DC. I don't think it was necessarily sold. Part of this agreement, however, is that the Commanders. So all of this is to get the Commanders to stay in DC instead of moving to Maryland. And because Maryland is literally like right next to DC. Like there are people who live in Maryland and drive to DC for work.
Yeah.
Part of this is to give the state so DC wants to rent the stadium back to the Commanders so they can stay in DC. But part of the deal is going to be that they're going to potentially bring back the old Commanders logo.
I heard about that.
Not the name, but just the logo. Which actually a little bit of
a lot of sense in my opinion, but all right.
It doesn't make a lot of sense, or it does?
It doesn't, because I mean, when you envision a commander, you don't think.
Oh, they would have to change the name.
Yeah. It's like, yes, Native American, obviously.
So part of the I don't know how much you guys know about the Commander's old logo, but it's a picture of it's a portrait of a Native American like chief of a tribe, and his name is
Hmm.
Chief Whitecalf, and he his family and his tribe all like want that to be the logo.
Yeah,
Uh
If I, yeah, I was gonna
It
say,
was commissioned to
and
their
they paid him
tribe.
for it. Yeah.
Yeah, they commissioned him to draw that, and it
yeah,
was of
if
his. I think it was the person they commissioned. It was the chief. It was
if
one
I
Yeah.
of their
remember
relatives.
correctly, like when like when the whole Redskins changed the commander thing
Mhm.
happened, a lot of people was like, you know how it's mainly white people that are pushing for this?
Yeah. That's what I
And
saw too. So that potentially, I think the thing is the NFL has special uniform rules where you can only redesign your uniform every 5 years.
Oh, interesting.
So at least I think that's the rule. So
Yeah.
potentially in a couple years we could be seeing the Commanders change their name again because I don't think Commander goes well with that logo. That logo is first of all, it's fire. And it's
okay, the
so much
name
better
I
than
think
the
was
W.
the big
Oh my God,
problem.
it is,
I
bro.
think the name was really
Yeah,
what people weren't
the
liking,
name
and they're
was
like,
what people
get the
wanted to
logo back.
change.
Yeah,
Hmm.
so yeah, get the logo back. Then go. I hate to say it like this, but then go to a tribe and try to pull some inclusive name that also sounds good.
Dijon, that is literally exactly what I was about to say. Like they have to do, there are so many like I looked it up. There's a whole Wikipedia page with tribes and where they're located in the US. Find one, pay them a royalty. Doesn't even have to be big. Just give them a royalty
Hmm.
and then change your name to that. Yeah, the problem is definitely the name. like that is a derogatory term. Also, uh, update on the Packers game because it is
Commanders
currently
and
happening
Paul
live. It is
happy.
21-0.
Oh my God, another one?
They just scored. Um, Dejan, what were you saying?
I said, imagine there's an NFL team called the Blackies.
Dude,
I'm not.
What?
I'm not trying to.
that
You
would
know.
be horrible. Um, Also, my personal um uh like the NHL has like the thing that always pissed me off about the Commanders is that their logo is I love like uniforms and team like aesthetics. Their logo
Hmm.
is hot garbage. Like it it pisses me off because uh there is an NHL team called the Senators and their logo is awesome. It's
Hmm.
it's like a it's supposed to be like a senator or it's like a Spartan or like a Trojan warrior
Interesting.
and
Okay.
it looks awesome. Like they should just make it. It's similar to the MSU logo, and it's got the helmet of the dude,
Hmm.
and they should just make it that. Like it should have just been the Senators or the Capitals or something. The Commanders, I'm fine with the name. Their mascot is actually not even bad. Make the logo the mascot. It's a pig who looks like an army general.
That's pretty cool.
Like, why can't we do that? Anyway, my second little interjection is are you guys familiar with the Hallmark movie Holiday Touchdown?
I know what you're
No.
talking about. It's the Chiefs
The
thing, right?
Chiefs. So the NFL and Hallmark. Hallmark, for those of you who don't know, is a TV channel basically for like white moms who, when nothing is on, you just put on like a Hallmark movie. It's all love stories. So there's a Hallmark movie that is officially like sponsored by the Chiefs, sponsored by the NFL. They filmed it in Arrowhead Stadium, part of it. And there is if you took a shot. So let me just finish my sentence actually before I say that. So there's that movie, and then there's I forgot what the name of the other movie is, but there's another movie that is more directly supposed to be a spoof of the Travis Kelce Taylor Swift love story.
Hmm.
And in that movie, I did not watch that movie, but I did watch Holiday Touchdown on Thursday. And I'm going to give you guys my mini review of it.
Let's hear it.
But I want to say before I say my mini review that the other movie that is not the movie that I watched, I don't even know what it's called. It's a Lifetime movie where the pop star dates an NFL player who's a wide receiver and he was a 9-time NFL MVP.
Damn.
Now, I know that you're like, okay, that's crazy, but first of all, a wide receiver has actually never won NFL MVP. Not only that, nobody has ever won more than 5 MVPs. So it's like, I gotta look up what the name of the football Lifetime movie. I'm just gonna look that up. I want to see what that name of that movie is.
That would be a fun watch.
So that's called Christmas in the Spotlight. But Holiday Touchdown is a Lifetime movie. If I did not see Morbius, I would say this would be the worst movie I ever watched. So I started it. By the way, one thing you guys got to listen to this. So the movie is about a woman and her family, and their entire personality is that they are Chiefs fans. They own a store. So her grandfather and her grandmother, the main character's name is Alana. Her grandfather and her grandmother met at a Chiefs game. And that's like literally, so the Chiefs is like how their family was born. They literally say that in the movie.
They fucked in the Chiefs stadium.
So I wouldn't put it past them. So Alana and her family run a Chiefs store. It's called like the KC Corner. And they get nominated for NFL Fan of the Year. And so they have a guy who works for the Chiefs. What the fuck was his name? Derek? They have a guy who works for the Chiefs who has to come and be like, cause it's like they have people vote on, or they have like the committee pick between like finalists. So she's one of the finalists.
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta look up this fucker's name because I think it's Derek. Anyway, Derek and Alana, over the course of the movie, yeah, his name is Derek. They do just like increasingly more BS stuff throughout the entire movie. And this movie is like, if you took a shot for every time if you took a shot every time they mention the Chiefs, you'd be dead. If you took a shot every time Chiefs merch was in frame, you would fucking die immediately. There were multiple points in the movie where it's like, okay, the Chiefs are not even part of the story right now, and someone has Chiefs merch in the background, conveniently so that the logo faces towards the camera.
You're just starting to make me sad, bro.
It is so bad. I laughed so much because there's some, like, the way that they talk is not normal. It's like
Wait, they're not normal?
Dude, because it's obviously it's a Hallmark movie. So it's like they talk like weird.
Yeah, I love it when someone goes to their hometown and decides to leave their fucking six-figure job for this fucking
random
one guy.
dude, yeah.
Yeah.
So Derek is the whole movie is about how Derek and Alana fall in love. And they basically like the movie basically has no plot until the end. They like they walk through this. They're also, all the cameos are like how people joke about like MCU cameos. The Chiefs quarterback that won the Super Bowl for them like the first time, has a cameo, and he just shows
Oh, Lord.
up, and randomly they're walking through the town square during like a Christmas festival. Oh my god, that reminds me. There was the first time they ever show snow in this movie. It looks so CGI. Like
CGI, they couldn't just put fake snow in front of the camera?
it not only that, but there's like so it's snowing very lightly, and when they sit down in this scene is like when the snow first starts falling, like halfway through the scene. And their sides of their jackets are covered in snow, and it's been like 2 seconds. Like
Dude, that's how it works, dude.
I'm kind of jumping around, but this movie has no plot. Like the movie starts, you get introduced to the characters, you get introduced to Alana's backstory, which is that her family is diehard Chiefs fans. They bring up the Chiefs every 5 seconds. A lot of the beginning of the movie takes place in just the Chiefs store. So the Chiefs, there's a scene where Derek is judging them to see if they are good enough for NFL Fan of the Year. And it's a whole thing where they're grilling him about Chiefs history. And they're like, surely you know about insert random ass player that no one has ever heard of for 40 years, who hasn't been relevant.
McYeely? What are you talking about, bro?
The defensive end in 1973.
She actually has a scene. She actually has a scene just like that, except it's about
I'm not gonna stand for you guys dissing Mr. Squiggly McNeely, all right?
Squiggly.
He
Now,
was a legend.
I'm saying this, but like these are actual Hall of Famers, but they also haven't been relevant for the past like when was the time the Chiefs won their first Super Bowl?
Yeah.
It was like the
I
60s
have
or the
no idea
70s,
when.
right? I'm gonna look
If
it
that
up.
was a question to me, I have no idea.
That's 1970. So
I wasn't even swimming yet.
yeah, I wasn't even a thought.
My mom wasn't even fucking born.
Neither was mine. Hi Eunice.
Hi.
So just to end what I was talking about, there literally is no plot to this movie. They mention the Chiefs every 5 seconds. The movie is about Derek and Alana falling in love. Derek, by the way, is like, I don't know if I said this, he's like the head of the fan relations department.
Oh, of course.
And they fall in love, obviously. He takes her to Arrowhead, and again, they filmed it like, apparently, I looked it up. They filmed it on location in Arrowhead, but there's so much like, the movie looks like they filmed it in Arrowhead. Claire and I watched this movie together, and she thinks that what happened was they filmed it in the off season. The turf was not painted, and so they had to CGI the turf onto the field. It looks like it's real stadium. It like switches between shots of the real stadium and then shots of them. It's their backs towards the camera facing the stadium turf. And then the turf is
100%.
CGI.
Because it'd be so hard to
It pops
distract
out
from
of the background. So there is literally no plot in this movie other than them falling in love, and they just go to random shit where they fall like basically flirt with each other the whole time.
Right.
At the end of the movie, so the whole thing that I forgot to mention was like Alana's family has a special, her grandmother who passed away has a special, or no. So the grandpa, I just remembered something stupid.
Oh, Lord.
So
I'm sorry to cut you off. I just want to know where we're currently at.
We haven't even
we're
done
Chiefs movie.
we're at the halftime. I watched the Chiefs Hallmark movie, so I'm doing a review.
Oh, so you guys finished recaps but have not
Yes.
started predictions.
Yeah, we
But-
didn't start predictions yet.
Jesus.
It's been an hour and a half. What can I tell you? So throughout the movie, there's a guy who, like, you know how people dress up as Santa and for the Salvation Army and collect money? There's a reoccurring character who, do you guys know Mr. Krabs' voice actor?
Yes.
It's not played by him, but he looks like him.
Okay.
So this guy who looks like Mr. Krabs kind of sounds like him too, but it is not him. I looked it up.
Okay.
He
Imagine.
is Santa, and he is collecting donations. Remember this character.
Mr.
Um,
Krabs is too big
Mr.
of
Krabs.
an
Yep.
actor to
so
fucking be
al-
part of this dog shit Hallmark.
also,
movie.
this is the worst on-screen Santa I have ever seen. He has,
Worse than the Big Show and the Tim Allen Christmas movie.
I don't know who that is, or I've never seen
All
that
right
movie.
then.
Um,
You don't know who the Big Show is?
I've never
Those
seen,
bonnets.
I've never seen the Santa Claus.
What?
Send a
It's
gift.
the Big Show.
I'm gonna try to find a picture. Oh, by the way, Mama Kelsey is in this. Her acting is bad. She just taught, and also like, I swear there were just like scenes where, uh,
Oh, it's the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
oh, the yeah, okay, I've heard of that, but I've never seen it.
With Retro Man. He needs to put the cookie down.
Oh yeah, okay, so I have a picture of what Santa looks like, so I can show it to you guys. He has, I'm gonna put it on screen. He has no.
He does not look like
He
Mr.
does not
Krabs.
look like. He kind of does, and he kind of sounds like him too.
Mm.
Jingle all the
I
way.
think he sounds like him, so you see
Yeah.
similarities.
Why does he look like Goldberg?
He does not look like Santa. He does not have a long beard.
No, why is his beard faded?
I know.
He faded his beard.
Hey,
I can't lie to you, bro. Do not go to Detroit. What you're talking about.
No. I meant like I fade my beard. I'm talking about being Santa.
So remember this character. So he
Talking about Josh Allen look-alike too.
that was so funny.
Oh, second place for the
Dude,
Josh Allen.
second place was so funny. Okay, so this
I don't know
character,
how he didn't get it.
I know I've never seen. I told Dejan I've never seen them in the same room together.
Exactly.
So this character continuously like he's like a gag character. He shows up periodically throughout the movie. Whenever they step outside the store, the guy, the love interest Derek, will donate money to him, and he'll just like throw candy canes at him. Well, he gives him a lot, and he tries to like pawn them off on him.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole point is that this family has a like special custom-made Chiefs hat that I thought the grandma made, but she died. But apparently it was not made by her. They show a flashback of how the grandpa got the hat. I'll tell you about it because it's literally the last thing you see in this movie. So the whole point is that it's this family's lucky hat, and they've had it since the grandpa was a child. The grandpa, by the way, is played by a character from Better Call Saul.
Mike Ehrmantraut.
No.
Oh.
His name is Ed Bagley Jr. And I recognized him, and I was like, who? He plays Clifford Maine in Better Call Saul. I have not finished the show, so I don't know who that is. But anyway, so
You recognized him, but you didn't.
I
watch that
recognized.
part of the show.
Well, I've seen like 4 seasons of it, and then stopped. So it's been a while since I've seen that. Seen the show. Anyway, so the whole point is like they have, and the only reason they win is because everybody gets really attached to the story of the lucky hat. So they win Fan of the Year. Alana's family wins Fan of the Year. They all get tickets to go to the Chiefs game on Christmas. By the way, in this movie, I wish this movie was real life because they say the Chiefs are doing so bad that the game on Christmas decides whether or not they make it to the playoffs. I was like, man, I wish that was what happened.
If only that were the case.
So also they showed footage of the Chiefs Packers game from last year.
Whoa.
So Alana's like, don't worry, we have the special hat. And they go to like a press tour it's like a toy drive where they're like saying like, oh, this is who won Fan of the Year, and everybody like goes up to her and says like congratulations and stuff. She brings the hat with her. And they find out that this Chiefs game is that on Christmas is going to make or break whether they make it to the playoffs. The hat disappears. And the whole rest of the movie is like, oh my God, you know, where's the hat? And Alana's freaking out because she thinks that they're going to lose because they don't have the lucky hat. And Derek basically says to her, by the way, forced conflict. Forced conflict. Literally, the only reason they break up is because Derek says to her, the hat isn't actually like, it's just, that's just something that, like,
Babe, the hat's not actually
it's superstitious, right? Like, it's not, yeah, no, and she gets so mad that she breaks up with him. Keep in mind, literally, probably about 20 minutes before that, she implies she wants to get married and have kids with him.
Oh my god.
So
dude.
the grandpa basically and the family talk her into getting back with Derek. And so when they go to the game, the entire family gets invited to the game. When they go to the game, they reconcile. But I want to interject and say, I was wondering, like, okay, by the way, extremely rushed ending. I was wondering, this is not the end of the movie, but this is just my interjection. At this point in the movie, I was wondering, like, okay, this has got to be like because the movie feels like it could have ended multiple times. I was wondering myself, like, why is this movie so long? So I looked it up. Claire and I were watching the special extended edition.
No.
That was only airing conveniently when we turned it on. So we missed we missed the first few minutes of the movie, but I could still get it, I still knew what was happening.
Oh, I'm sure.
I watched this movie for 2 hours.
That's insane.
It was 2 hours and 10 minutes with the credits. And I was like, wait a minute, Ludacris loves Kirk Cousins. And I was thinking to myself, so literally that I realized this 10 minutes before the movie ended. And I was like, there is no way this movie is this long. And it was like, Hallmark is airing the special extended version of them only on Thursday at 8 p.m. I'm like, oh my God, we've been watching the extended version. And it took me...
This means that the non-extended version is more ass.
Yeah. So they go to the stadium and they reconcile and they tell, by the way, do you guys know who Laura Bush is? She's a reporter. Yeah. She's in this movie. Huh? And that is her only appearance is that she announces the fan of the year at the stadium. So she says, like, so she comes clean because they literally drop the hat thing every 5 seconds at the stadium.
Well, of course, that's what's pushing the plot, dude.
And by the way, they only made this hat so you could... They kept advertising throughout the movie. Like, it kept coming up at the bottom of the screen that we could buy the hat. It's $35 on the Hallmark website.
Steal, bro. Oh my God.
I was like, we should buy that.
We gotta get the hat, dude.
So Alana confesses that she doesn't have the hat anymore. Literally, by the way, Derek says you can just lie and say you have the hat. Nobody's gonna ask you to, like, flash it. But she was like, that would be dishonest. That's also part of why they got into a fight. So Alana says, I don't have the hat anymore. But Laura Bush says, look under your seats, everyone. And they magically made enough hats for everyone in the stadium to have their own version of this hat. By the way, so one thing I saw when I looked this up, somebody pointed out, like, how do they not notice? Because the seats fold.
Yeah.
So how did they not notice that they were under the seat? Like,
also, no way they're doing this fucking hat thing for some random ass fan.
Also, Claire pointed out, like, there is no way they could have choreographed that, like, in real life, where everyone puts on the hat at the same time. And also it looks extremely CGI the entire time.
You're telling me that Ninja Blevin, Mr. Fortnite, couldn't get like 1,000 people in New York to do the floss.
But yeah.
This one reporter got everyone in the Chiefs stadium to put on a hat.
Oh, also Laura Bush is the daughter of George Bush.
football fans that like
Yeah,
pay
that's all I
thousands
knew
of
about it. I didn't know
dollars.
she was a reporter.
Hmm.
I just want to say, football fans that pay thousands of dollars to go to football games, and no disrespect to anybody out here watching this, are like the most like close-minded people.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
if you put the hat there and didn't say a word, they'd probably put it on. But like the nanosecond you say put on the hat, well, now I'm not gonna do it.
So 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 this is supposed to be like a feel good moment. Like we don't need the hat. We have our own hats, right? By
You
the
think
way,
you're the king.
I'm the kid. By the way, I think they said they were playing the Eagles on Christmas. So then Andy Reid shows up in this movie and he's like, guys, get off the
Of
field.
course he does.
He's like, guys, he's literally only in it for like 2 seconds. He's like, guys, get off the field. We're trying to play the game. So they go
Guys.
to
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I just like to imagine, guys. The fuck are you doing? We're in a fucking game.
well, that was the
this shit later.
pregame. So then they go to their seats. And by the way, they were offered
No, Eunice is actually still right. He'd be like, "Get the fuck off the field."
Yeah, get off the field.
Get some clothes in.
Security, get this fucking shit under control. The fuck we hire you for?
Dude.
Well, no, they are there like affiliated with the team because like they're the fan of the year.
No. Yeah, I get that. He's like, guys, we're on a schedule. Like, we don't
Yeah.
have the stadium for 24 fucking
They're like,
hours.
we
or
gotta
some
go.
shit, right?
You
Also,
gotta understand, someone's gonna be pissed that we cut into 10 minutes of Dance Moms.
Yeah, are you guys gonna reimburse Pepsi for their commercial time? The $20 million? No, I didn't think so. Get the fuck off the field.
also Mecole Hardman is in this movie, and this is the last thing. This is the end of the movie. This is what really did it for me. So they get invited to the executive suite, but they're like, no, we want to sit in our like season ticket seats because they're the seats that, the family has been sitting in for the entire time that the stadium's been there. It's the same. It's supposed to correspond to like where the grandpa and the grandma met in the other stadium, right? This is the biggest piece of bullshit that I'm about to tell you. So they sit down in their seats, and Ilana is the last one to put her hat on because, she had the knit hat that was supposed to be the lucky hat. So do you guys remember the Santa character that I was talking about, who's periodically showed up throughout this movie? He comes up to them and he says, I think you dropped your hat. And Ilana's like, no, I didn't. This is my hat that I got under my seat. And he's like, no, you dropped your hat. And he gives it to her and she looks inside of it and it has a tag that has her grandpa's name on it. So it's implied that he took the hat to like teach her some kind of lesson, but that is not where the bullshit starts. So she shows it to her grandpa, who she's sitting next to, who, keep in mind, is like the first generation of Chiefs fans. He takes it and he looks at the guy, the Santa guy, and he has a flashback to a Santa giving the hat to him.
Oh no.
And it's the same guy. So it's implied that this is the real Santa Claus who gave him the hat.
It was Santa, guys.
And at that, dude, when that happened, Claire and I fucking died. Like, I lost my mind. I was like, so Santa, first of all, Santa took it from her to teach her like the classic, like, feel good movie lesson of like, oh, you can't, you're supposed to learn that like you shouldn't just be like, things are allowed to not go your way.
Yeah.
But then you find out that, and by the way, the grandpa has like, he starts crying because of this, by the way. And that's the last shot of the movie. Like, and then it is implied that Santa Claus gave the hat back to her. So Santa was trying to teach her a lesson. Also, Santa was acting as a like basically a mall Santa, or not a mall Santa. He's a Salvation Army Santa. So he was like just sitting there the entire time collecting donations instead of, working.
Yeah.
He's in Missouri for some reason.
As you do.
And then randomly also, he gave a kid a Chiefs hat like 40, 50 years ago. So this movie was so bad, but it was also like hilarious. Like it was so bad. I wouldn't say it was so bad it was good, but it was so bad that like if like it's something worth watching while intoxicated, because like it's just so, there's parts of it where I'm like, this is so bad, and then there's parts of it where it's like, this is bad but it's also hilarious. So that was my mini rant. I think that took about 20-25 minutes. Sorry it took so long. I had to talk about it because afterwards, like, I could not stop thinking about that movie.
Oh,
I think I just gotta watch it now.
It is like I said, it's worth the watch, but also you got to do it while doing something else. Like, Eunice, sorry to interrupt. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, before we get into predictions, is it okay if I take 2 to 4 minutes just to ramble on real quick for with the reviews? Recaps?
Sure.
Just going from top to bottom, nothing special. Broncos blew a lead. Not really too surprised. A bunch of young stars on their team, young coach, all that stuff. So expected, but fun game. Texans Chiefs, Black Magic, poor Tank Dell. I'm praying to him. That looked crazy seeing his bone out of socket on the fucking field. Ravens Steelers, kind of expected that, but not to that extent. Was not expecting a blowout like that. God motherfucking damn. Good game by everybody. Defense looked amazing. Pelicans expected. Bears expected. Panthers, shout out Bryce Young. He's been looking amazing since he got benched. So I hope to see a good future for him. Rams, it never should have been that close. Fuck the Jets. You should be ashamed of yourselves for letting it get that close.
I agree.
I agree.
Man, Commanders beat the Eagles. A little surprising, but not batshit crazy. Yes, I know Kenny Pickett was in, but no, that does not make a huge difference in the game considering Jalen Hurts has not done shit for this team for 10 consecutive weeks besides getting a 1 yard tush push in at least once a game.
They absolutely would have
Bengals
won
Browns, nothing
with Hurts in.
expected. I'm sorry, what was that?
They absolutely would have won with Hurts in. Anyone carry on?
I mean, they probably would have had a better chance, don't get me wrong, but I just think like Kenny Pickett wasn't doing anything that Hurts wouldn't have done that game. Besides like not running it as much as a QB, which of course could change the entire outcome of the game. You are 100% right, but the reason
It's
the
not
Eagles
just that. It's Jalen Hurts working with them the entire time as well.
yeah, I do also just want to say the reason they technically lost that game, which could have been a completely different outcome if Hurts was there from the start, of course, was Smith dropped that ball for the conversion, which would have sealed the game.
Yeah.
Colts, Titans. Titans almost came back. Colts won though, no surprise, but shame on the Colts defense for allowing 23 unanswered points. Vikings, Seahawks. Vikings, that should not have been as close as it was. The Seahawks are frauds. Bills, Patriots. That was honestly shocking. I don't.
I'm not
This is
shocked.
obviously not going to be a consistent problem for Josh Allen. He's had bad games before and then balled out the very next week. But that was an embarrassing game for Josh Allen.
I wouldn't call it
Raiders,
embarrassing.
Jags, who gives a fuck? It was embarrassing. Less
All right.
150 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Respectfully, I know he's an amazing QB, but that was a very, very bad game from him.
Drake May absolutely outplayed it. I'm going to die on that hill. He outplayed him that game.
He did. He did.
Next game.
Yep. Raiders, Jags, doesn't matter. I don't even remember who won that. Was it Raiders, I think?
It was the Raiders.
Yeah, that
They
one.
played themselves out of the first overall pick.
Dolphins didn't really matter for the 49ers, so I can understand. Like, I was watching clips of it, so I could see why they weren't really trying. Dolphins staying in playoff contention. Cowboys, Bucks. This was surprising. I thought this was going to be a free win for the Buccaneers. They would rather throw 2 interceptions and have 3 fumbles or something
Dude,
like that.
hey, no. Dude, the defense, the Cowboys played insane. Have you
For
seen
real.
how many big hits they took on that offense, dude? Oh
Yeah.
my
Have
God,
you-
they were throwing themselves.
Have you guys
at
seen?
Tampa.
I saw a TikTok that was like Cowboys when Cowboys playing games knowing that the reward is a worse draft pick, and it's like the '90s Cowboys highlights.
Yeah.
Dude, they are going to ball out for these last 2 games.
Dude, the one I see so often was it was against the Ravens, and it's always funny as fuck to me. Whereas like the Ravens, when it comes to losing to bottom 5 teams, it's like a prime 2010 LeBron highlight clip. There's no
Bro,
fucking reason. And of course, last game has not been played yet. And that's it for me for recaps. Any disagreements?
nope.
Well, I have
Last
mine
game is
too on
basically
Jalen
over.
Hurts.
Well, fuck me. That's happening now.
Yeah, I know. We had to record on. Also, I think I was going to say this at the beginning. We had to record this on Monday instead of Tuesday because
Oh, that's the score.
I figured we would be. If the score stayed like this, Dijon would be right on the spread.
What do you say? 21.
Plus
nothing?
21, nothing. Yeah, he said plus 21. All right. So, predictions. I'm gonna we're gonna focus on the ones that are interesting, and then for the ones that I don't think are very interesting, I'm just gonna say, who do you guys think? And if you want to talk about it, you can talk a little bit about it, but let's,
If I may, I'm sorry, there was one last thing I wanted to say. Is funny to me. Also, Chuba Hubbard and Brian Thomas Jr. decided to have career games just to ensure that DJ beat my brother. Please continue.
and I'm okay with that. The first game on Wednesday, Christmas, is the what I like to call, and what I think a lot of people online have been calling, the Black Magic Bowl. Although I don't know if the Steelers are going to pull any black magic from this one.
Hey, George Pickens
is back. We were talking about that in the pregame. I think this one will be interesting. I'm excited to watch it, but
Wait, did the wheel actually affect anyone?
I don't even
who
remember.
Who did the wheel land on last time?
Panthers, Cardinals, or no, Cardinals. And
Cardinals lost in overtime through a Chuba Hubbard first run.
Cardinals.
I can get the video up and check.
I think
check,
it was
I'll check.
Browns. I don't know. It was
We
some.
didn't really need to do that to the Browns.
Hey,
right now.
they got humiliated. So while Eunice
right.
checks, what were you say? Is what is it?
Raiders. They lost the number one.
They
pick.
lost the number. Dude, it worked. It's been working.
Actually, I do want to say the Giants did technically have the number one pick before the game, but still they went down.
No, they didn't. They had 2. They had the second overall pick.
Never mind then.
I thought you were saying with how hard the rest of their season is, like there's no shot they're not getting number one, but never mind.
So, Chiefs Steelers is the first Christmas game. Eunice. Also, sorry, Gus, there was no graphic because they don't post them till Tuesday, and it's Monday.
Yeah.
Before anyone
That's
says
all right.
anything, before anyone says anything, I think we all unanimously, fuck predictions, need to come together on this one for Christmas and say Steelers, Ravens.
Oh,
Steelers,
you
Ravens,
mean
dog.
like those are who
I
is
don't
going
think,
to win?
I don't think our predictions sway the actual result of the game.
if
I'm
that's
just gonna put that out
if
there.
that's how it worked,
If anything completely unrelated can sway the game, it's my fucking headband for some fucking reason.
it's like Mahomes. Mahomes is
That's
like
my hat.
Mahomes.
That's my hat.
Mahomes is about to
I
ball out,
disagree.
but he's like, "Oh man, the spirit of Christmas!" Like,
No, Riley, I have my Chiefs hat. It's my Ravens headband.
the Chiefs. Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Because every game we have won, I've had that headband, and every game we have lost, I have not had that headband.
Well, take the headband. Someone please take the headband from Eunice. By the way, these 2 games are only on Netflix.
Oh wow!
Dude,
Anyway,
I know. I saw the
Backstreet.com.
ad. You know how pissed I got when I realized
'Cause-
they're only doing things to Netflix.
Yeah, the streaming is
I
going to be
can't wait.
horrible.
I know.
Dude,
I can't
not just
wait.
that, bro. I can't watch it on my TV in my apartment unless like I gotta buy. Bro, you're gonna
Streams.
make me buy my
Oh
own
yeah,
account.
dude. I'm just pirating it. Like
Oh,
Dude,
of course.
I can't wait. Like 3 seconds on the clock. Ravens are down by 2.
In
Lamar
Minecraft.
throws the Hail Mary and buffer.
You want to hear something?
what?
What?
When I was watching meth streams during the Tyson fight, literally the guy put, "Hey, it's not me. Netflix sucks."
Yeah, there were a lot of people trying to watch it.
Dude, I see that so often on like streaming things for Netflix. It's fucking hilarious.
So, Chiefs, Steelers, Eunice, who you got?
I'm gonna go Chiefs.
Wow.
I guess. I just feel that Steelers for like the past 3 weeks have just been incredibly inconsistent on offense. Just like mistake after mistake, like even outside of like the Ravens game, right? Like sure, the fumble's there and the interception was there, but like go a week before that, like the Eagles, that was pure garbage. They made it to the red zone, I think, once that entire game. They've just been so inconsistent lately, and as much as it pains me to say it, the Chiefs on the opposite side, yeah, they're not good offensively, but they're at least consistent offensively. And plus, Chiefs black magic. I think the Steelers losing 2 weeks in a row showed that the Chiefs have stronger black magic than the
Then
Steelers.
Mike Tomlin's black. You know it's bad when Eunice picks the Chiefs because he has yet to
also, I
pick the
just want the
Chiefs.
Steelers to lose. I want the Steelers to lose so Ravens can have the division.
Yeah, that's why I was like, yep, Eunice is gonna pick the Chiefs on
It
this
hurts
one.
me, bro. I think like I see my skin turning black after saying that.
It would be so funny.
Yo,
Dude, I would cheer for them if that's what happened. I know where you're going with this, or if this is the 1 week where I go against.
what do you mean your skin turning black? Why is
Like
that
the
a
dark
problem?
magic is taking me
Why is that a
over.
problem?
I don't want dark magic taking me over.
You don't want dark skin?
No. I was born with white skin, and I do not want my family freaking out the next time they see me because my skin complexion has changed completely overnight.
Any weird kinky.
Superiority alert! Wow.
This motherfucker needs to turn that soundboard back on.
I see
Yes,
I
it does.
see the emojis.
I can tell you right now, Eunice is not white.
Spicy.
It's
Why is that?
next time he goes to the airport, it's not a small screen. They're jumping in that his ass.
Motherfucker, I'm Middle Eastern. I get that shit already.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
They let me walk because I look white, and then as soon as they see my ID and see that last name, wait, hold on now.
Gus,
He's a baggy.
Steelers, Chiefs. Who you got?
I'm taking the Chiefs, dude. Come on now.
I think we all are. I have to ask for this one.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Here we go.
Hear me?
Dejan, who are you taking?
Once again, Riley speaking on behalf of DJ.
All right, Dejan, go ahead.
Steelers. Are you high?
You're taking the
What the
Steelers.
hell? Yes.
All right, by how much?
It's not like it's a crazy thing.
How much?
7.
Okay. That's the thing, right? I get it, and I honestly want to say Steelers, but I can't because it's not my actual opinion.
They're not gonna win.
They're not going to win. I think they'll keep it close just because they have a good defense, but the defense shit the bed last week. So
Hey, shit. Well, it's not even their fault. It's all they got like fucking 12. They had like what? Punt, fumble, punt, pick six.
yeah, so I mean, it's just not a recipe for success in my book. So I'm going to take the Chiefs.
Can I say something before we get into the next game? Because I just remembered this shit, Riley, and you need to explain.
What?
Who the fuck is in charge of Josh Allen's PR team?
Oh, brother, here we fucking go. Let me guess.
Let
me guess.
Punt?
The CBS.
An arm punt.
Oh, the arm punt. It was
He
third
threw
and
an interception. He throws an interception, and the media goes, he punted it with his arm.
it was 3rd and 16. There was literally zero chance that they were going to convert that.
Field goal range you guys were in.
No, they were not. No, they were not. That is absolutely not true. That is they were literally on their own 50, I think, and that was the first down marker.
They were on their own 50.
No, or the 50-yard line. you know.
All right, so throw it for 10 yards. You're at the 40.
It
That's field
was
goal.
third and 6, and I'm talking about for the first down. Like,
I'm saying, though, throw it for 10 yards, 4th and 6,
no,
field goal.
no.
Arm punt my ass.
Of course, Eunice brings that up. What was I talking about before he showed up? Anyway,
You were talking about the Chiefs.
no, I was talking about never mind.
Oh, I thought you said what were you talking about before I started talking.
No. Next game. But yeah, I'm picking the Chiefs. Next game, Ravens, Texans. Eunice, since it's your team, who do you got?
I'm gonna go Ravens. I mean that's like not shocking or whatever.
Right.
It's just Texans are they have moments where they're a very good team. They have moments. It's just their O-line has been so bad this season, and Ravens are like in the top 3 for sacks and tackles and QB pressures and all that. And the secondaries have looked great. Tank Dell is out. I know. I saw that's funny. They got Deontay Johnson right before this game. But I don't think he's really going to do much because new playbook and all that shit. It's only been 2 days, so it's not like he's going to be like an MVP of this game or anything. Unless he just keeps getting screen passes for like 60-yard touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
I think Ravens are just better.
Right. Gus, what do you think?
I mean, I'm just gonna have to agree. I don't really see any way the Texans can take this, honestly.
Right.
Yeah.
Dejan,
Yeah,
you have
not
any
much else to add.
different opinion about that, or
No, I said Ravens originally.
I did not hear you?
Did you guys not hear when I said
Be quiet.
we need to come together and pick and say Steelers Ravens?
Oh, okay. You know, I did not put 2 and 2 together.
Okay. I'll go jump off.
Damn. Ravens by how much though, Dejan?
10.
All right. Yeah, I have to agree, even though I really don't want to.
Both these teams have bad history this year with Riley.
Yeah, fuck both of them. I wish they could both lose, man. Kidding? A tie would be hilarious, actually.
A tie would a tie put it in to the Ravens?
What do you mean?
Trying to win the division?
Put it in?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
not if the
not-
Steelers lose.
Yeah, if the Steelers lost, then no. But if actually, I'm on the playoff prediction right now.
If the
It would
Steelers
come down to
lose,
week 18.
Riley, just say a tie. Just say a tie, bro.
Yeah, you
Let
could.
that be
No.
your prediction. A tie.
No.
Win.
He wants to win so bad.
So I am on the playoff machine right now.
Major push. Next one, I'm
I-
picking tie.
I am on the playoff machine right now. If the Ravens tied, they would lose the division. So
Really? Even if the Steelers lose next week and we win next week?
so
What if the Steelers lose out the next 2 games?
the next 2 games.
If they're versing Bengals
Oh,
next
you know,
week,
actually,
then that's
I
Bengals
see the problem. I see the problem. If the Steelers so actually, yes. If there was a tie in the Texans Ravens game, and the Steelers would have to, even if the Steelers won Week 18, they would still lose the division. Because I imagine the Ravens don't lose to the Browns a second time. Jameis Winston isn't playing.
It's a shame, dude.
Yeah, I know. I really want him
I
back.
genuinely would rather play him just because he's fun to watch.
Yeah, he's hilarious. Obviously, I've been saying the Texans are frauds, and they are, and they're injured. So, I can't really say the Texans. I just don't believe in them. I do think this will be close.
Could see that.
Not close where I'm like, not dangerously
It's a
close.
one-possession game.
Yeah, a one possession game. So,
Yeah.
but I think that'll be more on the 7-point spectrum than the 3-point spectrum, if that makes sense.
I mean, especially if the defense stays at this pace.
Yeah, should be fun to watch though. I don't think Deontay Johnson's going to do shit. I was joking
Yeah,
about
like
him
I said,
earlier
like-
in the episode, but I don't think
Yeah,
he's
you're
going to do
not
anything.
learning the entire playbook in 2 days, respectfully. Like,
Yeah.
I think like only guy that could do that, no glazing, is like Tom Brady.
Tom Brady doesn't even need a day.
Exactly.
He's
Like
like,
Tom Brady
okay.
makes up the. Tom Brady will come to the field on game day, throw them a playbook, and say, "We're doing this."
Yeah. So,
He
actually, that
is
is,
the playbook.
I 100% believe that.
He is the playbook.
Yeah. So taking the Ravens, obviously. I think both of these games, despite my negativity towards the Chiefs Steelers game, I think both will be fun to watch, and I'm actually excited for both.
I think these are both gonna be fun games.
You said you don't think, or you do think?
I do.
Okay.
I do. I can't.
I do too.
Because at the very least, Steelers and Chiefs have similar level offenses, and both have god defenses. And this is home for the Steelers too, so I think that will be a fun fucking game.
Eunice, have
I'm
you
not sure.
heard?
I'm sorry.
Have you heard anything about Chris Jones?
For the Chiefs?
Yeah, because he got hurt, but he like,
Fine.
he's out.
What?
I looked it up. He's out.
Oh.
He did not practice both days.
Well, that doesn't mean he's out. He could just be. A lot of Ravens players have not practiced both days, and John Hallmark said today, like, "Oh, they're gonna play. It's just we don't want to stress their bodies out too much with only like a 2-day grace period."
He's getting an MRI.
Yeah, okay then. He actually died last week.
My question, Eunice, I was gonna say, that I forgot to bring up. I was gonna ask you in DMs, but I forgot. Did you see what Lamar said about the halftime concert?
Oh yeah, it was fucking.
That was hilarious.
So
Like,
they were asked. So for context, they were asking him, like, "Hey, so we know you're a huge fan of Beyonce. Are you upset that you're not going to be able to see the halftime since you'll be in the locker room?" He goes, "Oh, I'm going to be watching it." Like, sorry, John. He goes like, "Sorry, John. Yeah, sorry, guys.
He's like,
I'm
sorry.
I'm watching Beyonce."
He's
For
like,
like the
sorry,
15
Harbaugh.
minutes.
I'm watching Beyonce.
For like
Right.
Beyonce
for like
ain't all
10
that much
minutes.
respect.
For like 10 minutes, people are asking him questions and shit, and you hear him like mumbling under his breath about Beyonce. He's like, "Man, I get to see Beyonce. Ooh, I get to see Beyonce. Ooh, Beyonce."
Yeah.
I can't blame him. I can't blame the dude.
I'm looking up.
That's like imagine someone telling me, "Oh yeah, sorry, dude, you can't go to you can't look at the Rihanna show." Like, bitch, I'm looking at you. Make me
Next up,
drag me to that locker room.
Next up is the last Thursday night football game of the year.
And it's a stinker.
And it is, Seahawks, Bears. I think everyone is going to say the same thing. Or am
I'm saying Seahawks. They love to bully bad teams.
Yeah.
That's all there is.
Gus, Seahawks or no?
Yeah.
Dejan, Seahawks or no?
When are you going to understand NFC North supremacy?
Well, yes, NFC North supremacy.
See, now I
All
said
right.
that shit. Wow.
I was going to say,
But I am a man of my word.
Legion was getting ready to say Seahawks until I said that shit.
No, it's a tie.
Okay.
Oh, you did say that.
I'm gonna write Seahawks/Bears tie.
Hey, if he's right about that shit.
That would, if Dejan is right, I'm just gonna say he's the king of predictions.
That would be
I'd love to
something.
imagine that's how the Seahawks lose out at playoffs because of a tie against the Chicago Bears.
If the Rams win one more game, they're automatically in.
Mayhaps.
If the Seahawks and the Bears tie, I will never post a TikTok again, Dejan.
Okay. Don't do that, but okay.
I'm picking the Seahawks. Next up is, and I'm sorry, Gus. Also, this is a Saturday game. I didn't even notice. Chargers at Patriots. Gus, what do you think?
Wow, dude. Boy, do I feel bad. I'm not gonna lie.
For the Chargers.
Those poor saps are coming into Gillette Stadium. Our domain, really. And they don't they have a lot of playoff things on the line for this? Playoff standings on the line?
Yeah, I think if they win one more, they're in.
Yeah, it's not going to be this game. I'll tell you that much.
What is their last game of the season?
It's a great
That's the
question.
Raiders. So there's two.
Yeah, yeah. It's not going to be this one though. I'll
Okay.
tell you that much. It's going to be simple. They do have a nice defense. They do have a lot of weapons on offense. Um, a Cockney. No, no. What was that? What was that rookie that they have? That's like really good.
McConkey.
Is it him? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
He should have been on our team, but yeah.
Mhm.
You guys took Drake
Anyways,
May though.
I wasn't talking about Drake, man. I was talking about different picks. I think we picked Polk. Oh no, we picked somebody else when we definitely could have had him on the draft.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyways, but that aside, Patriots are gonna do what they've been doing all year and just work their magic. They're gonna beat the Chargers 49 to
I imagine it would be
they're a pretty good
45-0.
team.
Yeah,
49 to
49-0.
3. 49 to
Okay.
3.
49
Yeah.
45 -3.
49-9.
Did you not hear what I said?
I heard 45.
He
I
said
heard 45 to -4.
You
Negative
said
4 is yeah.
Okay, that sounds like a plan. Eunice, Chargers.
Yeah, give me the Chargers.
Yeah. Dijon, Chargers or Patriots?
Chargers.
All right, by how much?
49.
Okay. Dijon gave up on spreads. Also 24-0.
Gave up. Didn't someone just say 49?
Yeah, Gus did. 24-0, as in the Packers have scored 24 unanswered points. On this is the pointless Saints right now.
Oh, they're really doing it to him, bro. Wow.
Quick.
Yeah. So the Chargers kind of struggled in recent weeks. Had a pretty good second half showing last week. Gonna give it to the Chargers. Sorry, Gus. I do think the Patriots will score points, though. Next up is, honestly, this one's worth talking about. The Broncos and the Bengals. Eunice, I'd love to hear your opinion on this.
All right, so just for the record, I looked into it. For Bengals to make playoffs, they need Colts to lose one of their two next games. Their next two games are Giants and Raiders.
Yeah.
So that's not happening. And they also need the Broncos
Uh,
to lose of their next games. Obviously, there's this one, and next week the number 1 seed locked Chiefs. So we'll have to see about that. Oh, and they need the Dolphins to lose a game, and the Dolphins are versing the Giants and the Jets, I believe, or Raiders and then the Jets.
They do
Whatever.
not need the Dolphins to lose. They
Oh,
need the Colts to drop one of their games, and the Colts are actually playing the Jags week 18.
Oh, well, another free win, regardless.
And then they need the Broncos to lose out. 1 seed ain't locked yet.
Okay.
It's locked.
You know the Chiefs are versing the Broncos week 18, right?
Yeah, they're playing the Steelers this week.
Yeah, and we all said whatever.
Hey, you never know.
I'm gonna give this to the Bengals, I want to say. I know the Bengals last 2 weeks have struggled against mediocre defenses, so I'm curious to see how they play against the Broncos defense, which has been excellent this season for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
And I know the Bengals defense, I was looking into the Bengals defense the last 5 weeks to see the improvements. Maybe they got better for play. No. They're averaging, just in rushing yards alone, they're allowing an average of 140 yards per game. And then passing, they're allowing an average of 240 per game. And the Broncos are good at both of those things. See? Fuck, actually, this is more 50-50 than I thought.
It is.
Fuck. I'm just going to give it to the Bengals just because they play better in high-pressure games and they need the win desperately.
Packers wide receiver Christian Watson has a knee injury and is questionable to return.
Oh, yeah, because they need him.
They are dog walking the Saints right now.
Well, quite literally.
Gus, Bengals or
Yeah.
Broncos? It's at home for the Bengals,
I gotta take the Broncos, honestly.
right?
That's not crazy. That's not
It's
crazy.
it feels crazy because of the Bengals offense.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I know I feel this is gonna be a 30+ game easy.
Well, he's outside your window right now, bro.
It's gonna be a 30+ game. But
Yeah.
yeah, give me the Broncos. I don't think they're gonna have it in the first half. I think it'll be a lot more shaky, but I think they're gonna squeeze out a little victory.
You think there'll be like a second half menace?
Yeah, I think they're gonna give up a lot of mistakes on offense, but I think they're gonna pull through in the second half.
You know what? Can you change me to Broncos too, Riley?
Okay.
It's just Joe Burrow has just been throwing like 2 interceptions a game lately, and I feel just against the Broncos, who actually have a good offense, against the Bengals' shitty defense, that's gonna bite him way harder in the ass than it did against like the Titans.
Right.
So
Dijon.
yeah, actually, yeah.
Yeah, I got you down for Broncos. Dijon,
Thank you.
Bengals or Broncos?
Opinion. I want Broncos to win just so it can be that much tighter on the AFC side.
Well, Bengals lose, that's it. No playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
No, I know this. I'm saying Chargers Broncos.
Oh, okay. Like who's gonna get the 5 seeds?
Yeah, and who's going to be the
Ooh.
fourth or the seventh?
Who's gonna verse
the
the Bills versus who's gonna verse the Steelers and or Ravens?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Both of those teams will lose.
They've
against those
already
four
lost
teams.
to the. Both have already lost to the Ravens.
Exactly. So at least take your chances with the Bills.
I was gonna
That's
say,
a new team at the very least.
I do not want to play the Chargers, so
You want to verse the
although
IR.
I did
Oh.
not think about that. You know what?
Oh, you definitely don't want to verse the Chargers.
I don't want to play the Chargers. The Broncos, I've heard from a Broncos YouTuber that their run game's been struggling, and you know what? I would love to play the Broncos. He literally said he's like, the one team I don't want to play in the playoffs is the Bills.
Hey, Riley, who do you want to verse in a wild card? J.K. Dobbins, Derrick Henry, or Joe Mixon? Take your pick.
The Broncos.
Those are going getting the number one team.
It would be.
Hey, I'd be proud of them. But they still have to deal eventually with Joe Mixon, Derrick Henry, or J.K. Dobbins. They're going to have to deal with whoever gets the wild card.
That's how it's happening. Bills are going.
I'm sorry?
Bills are making it to the Super Bowl. That's it.
Yeah, okay.
I'm trying, man. I'm pray every night. Anyway.
Sorry for cutting you off.
It's gonna be crazy when in the playoffs you're gonna see how the run game that has barely stopped anyone for some god known reason just kills Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry
he tears his ACL.
Snap. Don't say that shit, bro.
Obviously, it's not what I actually think.
Oh my god. His dreads were weighing him down, bro.
So, Dijon, Broncos or Bengals?
Broncos.
All right.
You said Broncos.
Yeah, but by how much?
3.
Okay.
That's actually probably what's gonna happen.
I think I'm saying Broncos. Bengals just don't have a good enough defense. Bo Nix obviously struggled or just the Broncos as a whole struggled in the second half of that last game, but
against the Chargers, right?
Yeah, against the Chargers. It was last week's Thursday Night Football. Just not really concerning enough for me to think that they wouldn't do good against this horrible Bengals defense.
Yeah. To be fair, I'm sorry for cutting you off.
Go ahead.
Doing that.
No, go ahead.
I just want to say the Chargers also have a pretty elite defense.
Oh yeah, I know that. I mean,
normally,
I just think that that's a divisional game where I'm kind of less willing to criticize the Chargers and stuff. I'm just kind of going off of I'm really picking at the Bengals defense. I think that it's going to be a very high scoring game. And hell, it will probably come down to the wire just because the Bengals are going to be scoring a lot because their offense is so good, but the Broncos are going to be scoring a lot because yes, their offense is good, but the Bengals defense is also so bad. So taking the Broncos.
Yeah, I can't imagine what the Bengals are hoping to gain in playoffs if they make it with their defense being the way that it is. You know what I mean? It's like, sure, they made playoffs, but I feel any team they verse in wild cards is gonna mop them.
Going to beat them unless
Like,
if the
imagine Imagine the Bills get to verse the Bengals.
I'd be scared.
In wild card, what's gonna happen to the Bengals?
We'd find a way to lose. We'd find a way to lose.
No.
Our defense is not as bad as the Bengals, but it's still bad.
But you guys have at least good, decent secondaries.
Yeah, we do, but they were all injured last week and the week before that.
Hey, did you not win?
We won both those games, so yes.
All right then, so you're fine.
Next game is why this is like a nighttime game, and I mean it's a divisional game. Cardinals Rams. Is everyone saying Rams? I feel like that's kind of the wavelength for everybody here.
I'm saying Rams. Cardinals got eliminated from playoffs. Kyler Murray was caught crying on the sidelines when he found out.
Oh damn.
Yeah, I felt really bad too. What's it called? I just see no reason for them to push themselves like they have been.
Mm-hmm. Dejan, you said you're saying Rams, but by how much?
3 is going to be another field goal game.
Fuck yeah. I would love this game to be an only field goal game. That'd be so funny.
6-3.
6-3. That'd be so bad. To start
49ers Rams.
To start Sunday off, we have Colts, Giants. I think everyone's saying Colts.
Yeah, I'm saying Colts.
Yeah, I mean, Colts are fighting for playoff contention, and they could get it.
Yeah, the Giants aren't going to win a game if you paid them to, bro.
Even when they weren't eliminated from playoffs, that's the fun part.
They need to rest their starters and be like, all right.
Lord, if you can hear me, please let the Colts be the 7th seed.
That'd be funny.
Please.
It's not going to happen because the Broncos would have to lose, and if the Chiefs beat the Steelers, which they most likely will, they're going to clinch the 1 seed.
Andy Reid announced that he's most likely keeping in the starters.
No, he is not. When did he say that?
I saw it like 2 days ago, I think.
The 1 seed, there's keeping their starters.
They're not doing that. They didn't do it last week, or the last time they had the 1 seed, they rested their starters, which was 2 years ago. But
because they don't want the Broncos to win to get a better seed.
True, but I don't think they're going to do it.
Who cares? They're number 1 seed.
Yeah, they're just not going to do it. We'll see what happens.
It'd be so funny if this bites them in the ass and the Broncos versus the Chiefs.
If there's an injury because you're like, no, keep the starters in, everyone's going to be like, that's on you.
That's what happened last year with or was it last year or the year before with the Lions?
I just want to say, it'd be funny as fuck if they take the starters out, Broncos win, get a better seed placement, and then beat the Chiefs in the division over.
Lions have never been number 1 seed.
Yeah. Not the Lions. The Lions clinched the 2, I think, and Campbell played someone last game and they got injured in the last game.
The last game was against the Cowboys, I thought, for the...
No, it was...
No, last game of the season is always a division game.
Yeah.
Oh, so it was probably the Vikings then.
I think so.
I forgot about that game because I didn't care.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless.
Anyway. Dejan, Colts by how much? And I'm obviously also saying Colts because they are actually decent and the Giants suck. All right.
The Colts are like a 6 out of 10.
Yeah. Also, by the way, the starting quarterback for the Giants got injured and is confirmed already to be out.
Drew Lock or DeVito?
Drew Lock. So I don't know. Yeah, exactly.
They were gonna do so much.
So the next game is Jets Bills, and I'm gonna keep it short. I think that obviously gonna have to say Bills. The Jets, I think, I'm going to give Aaron Rodgers credit because I was shitting on him saying that if if they were out of playoff contention, he would not play anymore. He said, and he at least to the media acts like he wants to you know, what's it called? Come back next year. But I don't think he will. Regardless, I think he's going to play out the rest of the year. Unless he got hurt. There's 2 games left, so. I think he'll do better than they did last week because our defense is just so bad. Obviously, like Eunice was saying, well, the secondary is better, but I don't know. Divisional game, I think it's going to find a way to still suck. Taking the Bills, obviously. Can't not take them. The Jets are just so bad that... And their defense is also bad, too, so it's like... But, yeah. What does everybody else think? Bills? Jets?
Yeah. I'm just a certified... Yeah, I'm just a certified Aaron Rodgers hater. I think I might hate him more than the Chiefs, honestly, at this point.
Wow, I don't.
I do, just because of the people he's hurt. At the very least, Mahomes actually a good person, you know?
Mm-hmm. Did we talk about the Madden thing? Like, on the podcast last week? I think it came out after the podcast came out.
Well, about the guy that didn't take Jerry Jeudy for the Jets, we brought it up.
Yeah, that's so stupid.
But yeah, I'm going Bills.
Yeah. Gus Bills, because you hate the Jets.
Yeah.
Dejan, Bills or Jets?
Now, why the fuck would I ever say Jets?
I get flack every time I say it for you, so I have to ask every time.
Bills.
By
how much?
12. 2 touchdowns, but Bates fucking sucks at kicking.
Yeah.
Crazy specific.
Oh my god, who do you pick for this one? Actually, I think I know.
The
All right.
Super Bowl contenders.
All right, really quickly, everybody just say Titans or Jags.
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 3.
Dejan said Jags by 3. Gus, I didn't hear what you said though. I'm also picking the Titans. Okay. I'm picking the Titans. I think they just have I don't know.
Actually, no, I'll take Mason Rudolph over fucking Will Levis.
He's Mason Rudolph is the starter.
Yeah.
So, yeah, now. I am picking the Titans just because I feel like they have it on a little bit better than the Jags do with Mac Jones.
The Titans, at the very least, have concepts of a secondary.
They do have concepts of a plan. They are. I know Gus loves that. I think they do well in divisional games. You know?
They do, surprisingly. They're like the Browns, really. Where for some reason, in division games, it's like 2007 Patriots.
Mm-hmm. So yeah. Next. Another nothing burger. Everybody just say really quickly, Raiders or Saints.
Saints.
Also keep in mind that right now, at the beginning of the 4th quarter, it is 24-0 Packers.
Not surprising.
Uh-huh.
They are about to punt, though. 4th and 5th, Green Bay.
I go for it. I go for
I'm
it.
going Saints because for some reason, I think it's because their coach is on the hot seat, but they are refusing to tank.
Oh, it's an interim head coach. They already fired their head coach.
What the fuck are they doing?
Wait, the Raiders or the Saints?
Saints.
Oh yeah, no, the Saints it's an interim head. They already fired their head coach.
So what are they doing? Why are they trying into your games?
Derek Carr is bad? Or Derek Carr got injured?
Yeah, Derek Carr broke a bone.
Yeah, no, he's out for the whole season. And he's not going to come back next year either.
Yeah, they're drafting a new QB for sure.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Milroe to the Saints.
I don't know if they're going to pick that high.
Milroe's not projected to go to like the end of round 2, maybe round 3.
Oh yeah, because he's. I mean,
Because
this draft
no
class
one
is
needs
bad.
a QB. Well, just
Everybody
not
needs a
many teams.
QB.
I'm saying though, like not many teams are desperate for a new QB. You got the Jets,
A
the
lot of-
Giants, the Raiders, the Saints, and the Browns. That's it.
I'm scanning over really quickly. The Giants, the Jets, the Titans, probably.
Maybe they're maybes because Will is still young.
Raiders, Saints, Browns. Okay, I guess.
Yeah.
And then it depends on what happens with the Brock Purdy contract. Where would? Oh yeah. So there's
Maybe
Eunice took.
Seahawks too. Maybe Seahawks.
I think
too, but we'll
think
see.
next year.
All right, whatever. Sorry
So-
for taking so long on that, but Saints.
No, sorry, I was thinking about that too. Gus, Saints or Raiders?
I gotta take the Saints here, bro. You know what? I could totally see it going to the Raiders too. That's the craziest part.
I'm picking the
I mean,
Raiders.
they won
I'm
last week,
spoiler
too. They
alert.
didn't-
I'm picking the Raiders.
I think I'm gonna have to pick him too.
Mm,
I mean, why
oh,
not?
man.
Why not?
I think that
I mean,
you really can't go wrong
Yeah.
with this game.
yeah.
Like,
I agree.
It's a pick your poison type scenario.
you know what, Eunice? I was thinking about that. That is 100% true. Deshaun, what do you think?
I'm picking Raiders here.
All right. By how much? 1 point.
Okay,
Points.
so said it, I guess.
1-0. Like I was saying before, I think the Raiders, like that's the thing, is like they suck, but they're able to score points and put up wins when they shouldn't. So, or get close. Taking the Raiders, the Saints are horrible. I know that the Packers defense is good. It just still, I don't believe it. I would still take the Raiders even if they found a way to beat the Packers, honestly. Next game, this one kind of has playoff implications. Depends on how Sunday Night Football goes. Bucks, Panthers.
Yeah, I'm
Eunice,
going Bucks.
Bucks. Okay. Gus, what do you think?
How did Green Bay get the ball back already?
Apparently, they have been sacking whoever the quarterback for the Saints is like nonstop.
They just punted it away too.
Oh, it's
That means they
Spencer
got it.
Rattler. Yeah, they just. I'm watching the live score tracker. They just
They punted
punted it.
away, so that means they got that ball and already went 3 and out that fast.
That is hilarious.
I'm
Maybe-
sorry for cutting you off, Gus. That was just weird as fuck to me.
No, you're good, man.
yeah, so Gus, what do
I
you think?
think I'm gonna have to take the Bucks. There's such a high-powered offense. I don't think Young can keep up. I know a lot's being said, especially after that Cowboys game.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, I'm still gonna have to take the Bucks. I think that was just a bad game against an excellent performance by the defense, honestly.
Right.
So yeah, I think the Bucks are gonna bounce back on this one and take the win from the Panthers.
Deshaun, Bucks or Panthers?
Bucks. No. Panthers.
Wow. By how much? What's your thought process with this?
My thought process is Bryce Young is trying to ball the fuck out. Chuba Hubbard, he's pretty cool. That's it.
All right.
7.
Cool. Panthers almost beat the Bucks the first time they played.
Fuck you.
I didn't.
But that was the game without Mike Evans.
I thought that was his first game back.
Nope, it was the following week, I believe.
Okay. Well, Panthers almost beat the Bucks. I'm still giving it to the Bucks, just because I feel like they're just a better team at their core. Both teams are struggling in different ways. Obviously the Panthers more because the Panthers have 4 wins. So give me the Bucks. Is everyone saying Eagles, or does it depend on if Jalen Hurts plays? I don't think it does.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Actually,
For the
they
Cowboys
wouldn't.
game?
Yeah, Cowboys,
wouldn't,
Eagles.
but-
Sorry, I forgot to even say who the teams were playing.
No, you're good. You're good. I just wanted to make
Hear
sure.
me out. Let me see. They would. Why would they care?
Who, the Cowboys?
No, the Eagles.
Oh. That if Detroit somehow lost to the Niners, then the 1 seed's up for grabs.
No, it's too late for them.
No, if Detroit.
No, what I'm saying is, what I'm saying is, they would need the Lions to lose 2 times, 49ers and Vikings.
Yes.
I would see 49ers as the easiest win for Lions as there could possibly be right now.
You know what, Dejan? I did the playoff machine. And even if the Eagles, or wait, oh yeah, so if the Eagles win out and the Lions lose out and the Vikings lose to the Packers, Eagles have the 1 seed.
Okay, so they need 4 things to happen. Okay,
Yeah.
that sounds fun.
it's possible. That's just kind of what goes into that.
Possible, but the first thing you're saying is the Lions, who I understand they don't have the best defense right now, but the Lions, you are expecting them to lose to 49ers.
No, I'm not. I'm saying that is something that could happen.
I know. What I'm saying, as in keeping starters in, right?
Okay.
The 49ers shouldn't be that big of a deal for the Lions. Therefore, yes, you could have. I think they are going to still play them. I'm just saying.
Or Kenny Pickett, I think, can get the job done.
Yeah. So keep Hurts out.
Yeah.
Yes, you do kind of want to win. I still think they win. No, either way. I'm just saying, do you really want your starter QB to come back from a concussion and let's just say he gets another concussion in this game? Then it's really like, holy shit, do we really want him to play?
Yeah, no.
Exactly. So I'm saying, let him fucking sit down for 1 game. It's the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
And see what happens.
I think even if Pickett plays, they'll win.
Yeah.
Dejan, Eagles by how much?
5.
And before I move on, does anyone have any interjection to that, or is everybody saying Eagles?
No.
I was not asked, but yes, Eagles.
I know, that's why I said
they're all on my side.
There's too much on the line for them to lose, bro.
Yeah. More so what I was talking about at the beginning was that I think they won't play Jalen Hurts, but it's a game that you have to still win, they still have stuff on the line.
Jalen Hurts, personally, I think Jalen Hurts is going to be fine, and he could play if he wants to play. So I think what they might do is start Pickett, see how the game goes, and decide if they need to put Hurts in or not.
Nah, I guess. I was going to say...
All I was saying is I don't think this game is that serious enough to put in your starter QB.
That's what I'm saying. They'll have to wait and see how the game goes. If they're winning by a lot, then sure. But if they're behind by 7 in the 4th quarter...
Okay.
I don't even then. Do you put in a cold Jalen Hurts?
I do.
Okay.
I do. All right.
And that's why we're all Madden players.
I love Madden and football. I fucking hate Madden. I have a love-hate relationship. It's abusive,
Like your fan relationship with the Bills.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that actually.
God damn! I can't believe you're still in that toxic relationship.
The next game.
This relationship, man.
What, with the Bills? No.
It's gonna be a Lions fan.
At least I'm not a Sabres fan, bro. Come on. It's the
Yeah, actually, at least you're not a state fan. Michigan State.
yeah, fuck them.
Shut the hell up.
Yeah. Imagine like not winning a championship.
Exactly. No, they've
You
won a
don't even go.
championship.
You don't even go to the main
Yeah,
one.
yeah, that's true.
You don't even go to the school you're
I don't
doing.
need to,
I'm
bitch.
sorry, you stuttered. You lost.
Oh my god.
Me? 4 people talked over me.
Womp womp.
4. There's um.
Yeah, there's not even 4 other people.
Yeah, because I don't exaggerate. This is new of me. That's great.
Listen.
Yeah, way to really like break down
Listen,
my argument, guys.
when
You
the-
got me.
Listen, when the
Great
Super
analysis,
Bowl
Sherlock, and God, I'm gonna kill you.
after the Super Bowl ends and this podcast becomes a hockey podcast, we
I
can
need to start watching hockey.
talk. You should be a Buffalo Sabres fan. I want you
No,
to.
I would be a Detroit Red Wings fan because at the very least, when I was a kid, that's who I used to watch.
I am a Toronto Maple Leafs fan, and we have been doing fantastic.
And
That's
Bandwagon.
insane.
Anyway.
What did you say to me, bitch? Eunice, the Toronto Maple Leafs are the Buffalo Bills of the NHL.
So
They-
they get close every year but never win.
Yep. They have made it to the exact same round of the playoffs and lost in the exact same so the NHL playoffs is best of 7.
Jesus.
And dude, it's fucking awesome. Playoff hockey is awesome.
They need to do something. Man, that's so weird that football is like the only sport where it's like, oh, you had a bad day and you lost? Tough shit. That's it. Go back home.
I like it, but I don't know, playoff hockey is just different, bro. Playoff hockey is amazing. Like
every other sport.
I actually like it as that definitive because
Me
unlike
too.
The other, well, except for hockey, I guess because
Because like in basketball, they do what? Best out of 5?
no, it's the championship is 7, right? Yeah, the championship's 7.
I have no idea.
I have no idea. I don't like
basketball.
Gus knows. Gus likes basketball,
Except
I thought.
for hockey, I guess.
I don't know much about basketball.
But
That's the only one I don't know anything about. Like, because in baseball,
Ball again.
it goes up.
Whatever.
But I was gonna say, I think is because I was gonna say, okay, unlike maybe the other ones. See, I'm trying to like word this the proper way. Fuck. See, I don't know about like rugby in them because I know they're very contact.
Yeah, rugby.
Like, football is a very yeah, you're getting a concussion, buddy, type of game.
I
Same with hockey, really.
it is, but
Is already dangerous enough. You want to do best of 3 for the Super Bowl?
I feel like
How much time are they getting for like relaxation?
True, because hockey people, they get every other day for the playoffs.
Yeah. So that's why I'm like
Playoff hockey is how I got into hockey last year, and it's so fun. It's and yeah, the Maple Leafs for the last several years they just ended the drought, and for the last several years they have lost in Game 7 of the first round every single time, except for 2020 because it was a weird year and they did things weirdly, and they lost in the second round instead of the first.
I just found out something that's hyped me up now.
What?
Like how sports teams after they win or whatever, they'll do like a Wired video.
Yeah.
You know who was wired for the Ravens win against the Steelers?
Was it Henry?
It was Lamar.
Oh, Lamar. The next game. To speed through the rest of these. Well, actually, no, we got to talk about all of them. I think everybody's saying Dolphins.
Yeah, Dolphins are fighting for playoffs. Browns suck diddly cock. Yeah.
I think my dream playoffs actually would be to play the Dolphins in the wild card. I wish they could make it.
If you guys lose that game somehow,
It wouldn't happen. I am so confident that it would not happen.
that's the one playoff game that Riley gets to watch without ripping up his hair.
Yeah, I could actually watch that and not feel stressed. Like
And
Tua,
then somehow, you lose like on a kick return or something like in the last 10 seconds of the game. We're gonna watch Riley fly down to Florida and just start shooting.
Yep. Dijon, Dolphins by how much?
Just 7.
All right. So, the next few games, this is kind of contentious. I'd like to kind of wrap it up soon, so we'll just kind of avoid the small talk. Well, not you can break it down, but just try to stay on topic. Packers Vikings.
Great game. Vikings are fighting for the number 1 seed.
Uh-huh.
This can really go either way. Packers, I believe, are like 1-4 in their division. So from that alone, I'm just gonna say Vikings.
I don't know. Let me look.
No.
Yeah, they're in the division. Fuck, they don't have that on
Yeah,
fucking.
I got you. I got you.
Yeah, they're not. They're not 1-4. They've lost to the Vikings once. They beat
They're
the
1-3.
Bears. They lost to the Bears.
They're 1-3.
Oh, or do they have to play the Bears week 18? Oh yeah, they play the Bears.
They
Okay,
lost to the
so they're
Lions.
1-3. They
Got
beat the.
swept by the Lions and lost to the Vikings.
Okay.
So they're 1-2.
How were they? I was gonna say, how were
They're
they?
1-3, swept by the Lions, and lost to the Vikings.
Yeah.
That's 3 losses.
Okay, and then they beat the Bears. I got it.
I forgot about the second Lions game.
The one that was an even worse loss for them.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I'm just gonna go Vikings. I feel like that's just the safe pick here.
Okay. Gus, what do you think?
For which one? Saints?
Vikings.
Packers Vikings. That was a long
Packers.
time ago.
Ooh, this is gonna be a great game.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Oh. But
Keep in
I
mind,
think.
it's still Toyota-thon.
Oh.
And Jordan Love does great during Toyota-thon. He even posted about it on Instagram.
I saw the stat. That alone, I'm picking the Packers.
Someone was like, Jordan Love is a Toyota-thon merchant.
Yes, he is, bro.
All right. Dejan. NFC North supremacy. What do you think here?
Packers, just so the Lions can just get the easy number 1 seed and get this shit over with.
Hell yeah. By how much?
Fuck it. It's probably gonna be a close game, so probably like 6 because of overtime.
All right. Now this is tough. I could see it going to either team. Genuinely, they're both great. I think it'll be closer than the last time they played because obviously the Packers were struggling coming off that Jordan Love injury. That was literally his first game back. I am gonna give it to the Vikings though, in like genuinely like 1.3 point diff. Like, just both teams are so good. Obviously this Saints game that is currently happening is not a indicator of the Packers. Like, they've been great again. This is the shitty team, and I think they're good against good teams as well. But I don't know. I don't know with the Vikings. It's going to be a close game, so going to give it to the Vikings. Sunday Night Football is, I think, one Eunice is going to be pretty excited for. Phoenix versus the Falcons versus Commanders. Eunice, what do you think?
It's the Commanders. Commanders are just on a hot streak lately.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mind the Falcons, but it's just brand new QB, tough game. Falcons have struggled offensively against the fucking Raiders, and the Giants beat themselves really with like 2 pick sixes, a fumble, and then like 2 intercepts. Like, they beat themselves.
Uh-huh.
Which I guess is like intentional at this point with tanking, but whatever. I'm giving this to the Commanders.
Mm-hmm. Gus.
Yes.
Falcons or Commanders? It's home for the Commanders.
Home for the Commanders. Oh man. I don't know. I think they're gonna do better than the Falcons in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, for me, it's a bit of a toss-up in terms of who's actually gonna win it, but I think that if I had to pick, I would go with the Commanders.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dejan. Commanders or Falcons? And by how much?
Commanders.
Okay.
Commanders. Almost said 4.
2 safeties.
You know what? You're right. 2 safeties.
Okay. Or I guess multiple missed like PATs return for a touchdown or something.
I don't know.
I am
That's
picking the
fun.
Commanders as well. I think that I have to see a real test of the Penix, right? Because obviously the Giants are just so bad. And it's not even within their division, so it's not even like they can put up a fight. I'm taking the Commanders. You know, I like I said, still frauds, still going to lose in the first round, but you know, both teams are actually. If the Falcons can make it, because if they lose this, and the Bucks won out, then the Falcons would not be the head of the division anymore. So, give it to the Commanders though, just because I think their offense is a little bit better. Defense looks better, although Marshawn Lattimore got like 90 billion PI calls on him, in that last game, and he was frustrated. So, yeah.
Not lie. A few of those were bullshit.
Oh yeah, a few of them were BS. Like that ref
There was
crew.
one of them where he was like behind AJ Brown, like not within like a foot of him, and they called PI
and they
because
called it.
after AJ Brown fell, he like landed into him and he landed on top of AJ Brown.
Side note: I really hope that the Saints don't score any points. Like, God, it'd be so funny. Which it's looking like will happen.
5 fucking minutes left in the game.
Yeah.
27-0.
Next game is Monday Night Football. I think we're all on the same
It's the
page,
Lions.
but I am going to let Dijon take the floor first.
Lions.
But why?
Teams are crippled.
Why?
Okay, I know why. I'm also saying Lions.
Yeah.
Will this?
Even if you're a 49ers fan, you say Lions here, I do not care.
Yeah, the 49ers already punched their ticket to Cancun.
Yeah, so just go home. Understand that the Lions are, for this season, never lost an away game, and we're just going to end on that note.
4th and 7 on the New Orleans 33.
Dude, I miss Justice Hill. I know it's not related, but I'm just sad.
Out of fucking nowhere.
He has not left my mind.
Gus, Lions.
Yeah, I mean, what else do you say?
Yeah, the 49ers just too banged up. I know Eunice also said Lions. 49ers just too banged up to...
Respectfully, both teams are so fucking banged up.
Yeah.
Do you know how insane it is for the Lions to be this banged up and to still say, without a doubt, Lions so unhesitantly?
Yeah, the 49ers are less banged up by like a little bit and still
A little. It's like a lot.
Yeah, their defense is also bad because of the injuries. I mean, the Lions obviously have like how many, like 22 people on IR.
Like, it's so crazy that the Lions are so hurt that even if they were to versus the Eagles, I'd still be, you know?
Yeah, that'd be a
just say
50-50
Eagles.
game for me, yeah.
Like, that's so crazy.
Yeah, so...
22 starters on IR.
Yeah. So... Those are all the games, you know? This is the
Wheel
second...
time.
What?
Wheel time.
Oh, yeah, the wheel. I forgot. This is the second to last week.
I opened this whole time so I wouldn't forget.
All right. Let's see. The curse wheel. It was really right last week, so let's hope it's not...
So we got our NFC team.
I honestly think that my prediction for this curse is going to be that the Cowboys win the game, and that is the curse.
That's actually hilarious.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
you,
Yes.
hey, you can't curse Satan. That's all I'm saying.
Wait, what? I've watched Lucifer. I've watched the show.
Heard of what happened down south. The devil gave a man the ability to play.
Yep. Hey man,
The
you never know.
The devil came down to Georgia, but he didn't stick around. You know why? Because this is God's country.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I think Mister.
And that's why we bombed the Middle East. That's why we
Unlimited
drone
diarrhea.
strike weddings, baby.
Hey, wait, what?
What?
That
Did you?
hospital had targets in it. trust
Okay.
me.
Okay.
Obama-
Enough.
Okay, we're done with that.
All right. Enough. This is the longest
What?
podcast
Oh,
we've
cool
done.
guy. He's not cutting it up, by the way, and the government does get the Discord information.
Just for the record, I don't know if you saw it or not, but the name right next to the Chiefs was the Bills.
Hey, it's because you know what? They're gonna lose this game. They're losing the number 1 seed. That's all I'm saying.
Who are they
You
playing
think the Chiefs are losing to the Broncos next week too?
If the Chiefs play their starters, yes, I do.
If they play the starters,
Even if they
will lose to the
either way, I
Broncos.
do think they will lose to the Broncos. The Broncos almost beat them both times, and I think the first time.
The
And
Chiefs genuinely lose to the Steelers. Of course, they're playing their stars. This is a fight for the number 1 seed.
yes, fight for the number 1 seed. I do
But-
genuinely believe that if it comes down to it, I think if they don't play their starters, obviously they're gonna lose to the Broncos. If they do play the starters, I think that they were so close last time, this time they will lose. Can you believe this episode was almost 3 hours long?
Dude, I didn't think I was gonna make it.
256. So,
We talked about what happened this week.
and we talked about holiday touchdown.
The last third was predictions.
Yeah,
Oh, here we go. The Green Bay Packers have clinched playoff berth.
they didn't win though, did they?
Motherfucker, let me find out they lose somehow.
Hey, you never know. There's still 5 minutes left, I thought.
How did Green Bay get the ball?
Oh, no,
within
never
the
mind.
40 seconds?
They lost.
It's 27-0. Green Bay has the ball. First down at the New Orleans 33-yard
They
line.
went
with 5
for it.
minutes
They
left.
went for it on 4th down and didn't get it.
What the they going for it for?
You have to go for it.
Bro,
Motherfucker, you're not winning.
If
I'm
you
so
punt, you're gonna get fired.
Hear me out.
The coach already got fired.
No, I need a pick 6 from the Packers. Please, I want to beat Sammer's record.
Wait, dude,
I
that's
know.
so crazy, bro. How me and Ali scored so high this week, and it means nothing for me.
All right, y'all. That's it from us. Anybody want to
Crazy,
say
I
anything
outscored you
before?
too, Eunice.
Anybody want to say
sorry?
anything as we?
I outscored you.
You did, yeah, by a little.
That is true. A little.
Doesn't matter.
Anybody want to say
Yeah,
anything
well-
before we sign off?
Oh, wait,
Actually, we want to talk about outscoring. Look at DJ, my brother. Fucking 2 gladiators going
Yeah,
at
but
it.
that game is like insignificant.
The only person that would have outscored DJ was Ali.
This is for 5th place.
All right,
brother.
go Bills.